Yeah.
No, not yet.
Why don't you two?
All right, well, that's it.
Good money.
Why don't you set? Well, yeah, see what it looks like.
We good? On you? On your front?
Yeah, well, so you can see what it looks like. I can't see.
Nice song. So where we at?
That's Facebook, right?
Yeah, that's the book.
That's YouTube.
Two.
And you.
Now, concentration camp, tripwires and shit. Bill, have a second.
Peace! Peace! In your face, goddamn! This is a dope jam.
Good peoples.
Welcome, man. Welcome. You with the Fire and Ice, man. Experience, man. A little late, but we here nonetheless. You can be anywhere, but you here with us.
Appreciate it.
It's your boy P.
Definitely
It's my co-host P Mizzy. We got the fire, we got the ice, we got a special esteemed guest here tonight, man. Let's not stand on ceremony, man. We love him. It's your highest, Grand Funky, man. We love this man. Artist Appreciation Night. We figured, man, no better guest to have tonight, man, than an actual artist here for Artist Appreciation Night. So with that being said, man, how you feeling tonight, bro? Good, man. It's good to have you in the building, man. Listen,
Yeah.
we're not in our normal setup, man. Shout out to East Square Cigar Lounge, 3616 Kirkwood Highway, under renovations. We'll be back in the building next week.
You did.
So with that being said, B Matt, man, how you feeling tonight?
Hey, man. Listen, you know you boys, man. I'm here, man. I'm here. I'm saucy a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? You know, I'm happy
It's normal,
to
though.
be my fellows. Let me fellowshipping, man. That's what we do, man. This Tuesday night shit. You know what I'm talking about? What's up with you, bro?
Shut up, man. What's up, dog?
You know what I'm talking about? So listen, man, we're gonna get right into it, man. We're a little late. We appreciate your walking with us, man. So listen, man. You know, like the cool Pete said, we got esteemed guests in the building. We got royalty, Delaware royalty in the building, man. You know, pretty much, you know, most of y'all, if you from the 302 or around here, you know who this guy is, man. This guy's family. This guy's a friend. This guy's a legend. This guy is, you know, an idol to some of us, man. This guy is a Delaware Lifetime Achievement Award winner. This guy is one of the first rappers that a lot of us fell in love with.
It's mostly the voice.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, Grand G, Grand Funky, the Funky One, Gilbert, man. Let's give it up for Funky. How you feeling, brother? How you feeling, man? Appreciate you joining us, man.
I feel good. I mean, like, I know it's been a minute. I'm supposed to come down here quite a few times.
Were you?
Yeah, I canceled.
You
know.
did you?
Yeah, I do struggle with a couple things, but
We adults, man.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's not a struggle. It's just life. We don't struggle with anything. It's just life.
No, honestly, to be honest with you, I'm trying to work on that. Be transparent.
We appreciate you, man.
We love
Some
transparency.
stuff I ain't even working on. I'm gonna be honest.
Shout out Cool. Cool Shoe. Shout out Doc. What's up, man? Shout out Jakia.
Yeah, but I'm feeling good. I'm happy to be here. First and foremost, I love that, man. And love Wilmington, especially in the fashion with the East Side, you know, East Side Connection, East Side Connect, that's what I call it. But I love all hoods, you know what I mean?
Eastside. That part, man. Eastside Connection, man.
But listen, man, I'm gonna say this. And I think you touched on it earlier, Ice, man, as far as, you know, the first rapper you knew. You know, the first rapper you knew. And that goes for me, you know what I mean? Because it was the first rapper that I could say, wow, man, that dude lives across the street. You know what I mean? It was that was crazy for me. And it wasn't like, to me, the impact that it had for me, it didn't feel local yokel. You know what I mean?
Right,
Because
right.
because of the skill level, because of how advanced you were with it at a young age. You know what I'm saying? It was more or less kind of a blending right in, like, yeah, that dude's supposed to be there. Like, he different. You know what I mean? How did you feel back then? And I know I'm probably jumping ahead. How did you feel back then? Because I'll say this: you were part of an extremely large movement for us. You know what I mean? How did that feel? And exactly how old were you at that time?
Man, I'm like 18, 17, 18, somewhere around there. Yeah. No, I was 19. I'm sorry, 19 years old. Like at the time frame, real talk. And I could probably come out later as we discuss stuff. But overall, just how I felt was, there was a certain sound that was out in Delaware back then. I call it more kind of that slow drag, that kind of that unorthodox bob and weave. That's mine.
Right.
That's how cats was spitting it back then, and it was cool for them, but for me, like not so much. You know what I mean? And so, and then I just always been taught like when you do something like. And, it might sound crazy, but you fake it till you make it. So, like, if I'm gonna go record, I could have recorded in Delaware, but I was like, I'm gonna go record where like the cast is on, that's recording it, like to get the best, follow their blueprint, right? Just put our swag on, right? And that's really what it was for me as far as that concept, and it really just kind of driven me my whole career, whether it be behind the scenes or doing stuff out front, and really in life, just trying to do things like the way they're supposed to be done. You know what I mean? Not have certain shit you can't have.
So check this out, man. So I posted some flicks, right? On
The Steam
Facebook.
flicks.
I posted flicks with MC Light,
Rap royalty.
with Ice-T, with Tribe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I got some shit in the archives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's rap
So-
royalty, man.
To people who don't know, man, like, I know a lot more than a lot of people might know because
Right,
of all my relationships, right?
As you should.
So, talk to these people about how, like, you was out there, you was rubbing shoulders with motherfuckers, man. Like, you was in the building. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I guess like for me, if you start at the beginning, we released Project X. So this how that whole story came to be was, I used to, be chilling. I was really homeless, like a lot of people don't know that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was homeless, and I still tried to play the role, even when I was still going to high school.
Real close people might have been cut. And maybe other people might have been they said, but that's what's going on there. But we just say, the man, my uncle was cat, he had some cash, he got some talent. We met one night, he was like, what you trying to do? Tell me what I'm trying to do. I spit something for him, he was like, all right, cool. Next day, he drove me up Philly, bought me all this equipment, and he said, this is your new motherfucking job. Learn how to use this shit.
Okay.
And he had the warehouse over in South Bridge.
Okay.
All that stuff. You know what I mean? And that's where it all began. Literally that's how it began. Me writing this stuff began, that's another tale. But, to answer your question, that's kind of how that material.
What year is this when this happened? Around
This is around 80, 89-ish.
golden era.
Yeah.
So this is golden era.
Yeah.
That's golden era.
Shout out Jad Penn, shout out James,
It's the
what's up,
golden
little bro?
Yeah, absolutely. And I might jump around a lot. I do that. So
Hey,
keep
man,
up, I had to keep up with it. But like I said, it started there, and I just started messing with it because I had nothing else to do. I ain't had nowhere to really live. So, my man, he looked out for me, like real talk. So I always felt like I owed him something because he gave me something. He gave me a gift like I could never repay him for. Right. But that's what it was. I was in it. Like I played with that stuff all night long. I literally went all night. And I just started messing with that. I had some rhymes and stuff, and that kind of materialized. And once Project X got to a point where it was originally supposed to be just me coming out with an album, and the album was supposed to be called "This Is a Test," and I was going to sample that old Keras One joint. This is a test. You know what I mean? And I do that kind. That was my look, right? So we was recording. Everything was Gucci. Went up to New York. Went into a studio, mind. That's the key word. A studio.
Meaning Maine.
So when we went in there with some white cats, no disrespect, but at that time, in that era, it was very clear that hip hop was just black. It was black, right? You know what I mean? So, but they said they could do it. I think they were trying to take a bread. They started mixing and doing it. And I'm like, yo, you gotta turn that bass up, player. Like, I'm trying to tell him what to do. He's like, nah, you can't. He give me all this bullshit about frequencies. I'm like, yo, I hadn't heard songs with more bass, but needless to say, that did not materialize. Right. You know what I mean? So that derailed it. And then, so I went back to the drawing board and started doing some other stuff. And then some of the other people that the guy was meeting, they wanted to rap. So it went from my album to Project X. That's how Project X got formed. It really was supposed to be just me, but then there was other cats waiting in the wings. And it's just like real life shit. Like you're waiting in the wings, they want to get on too. You know what I mean? And I ain't mad at them. So needless to say, it was like I was still producing stuff for them too. I was still doing my thing. It just came out like, yo, we're gonna do this Project X shit. Straight up, that's how it went down.
So
history was made.
Yeah,
history was
Definitely
made.
Definitely was history.
History was made. So
Yes,
let me ask you this, man. So, a lot of times, a lot of us can, tried our hand at, us, we on 8th Street back in the day, and you know what I mean, and motherfucker hit a beat, or on the trash can, and motherfucker start spitting. You know what I'm saying? So I think we all pretty much have probably dabbled with it.
Right.
But I never said, oh wow, nice. You know what I'm saying? Like I never thought anything about this shit. When was that moment you was like, yo, I'm kinda nice at this shit? Like
That moment of
damn.
When did it hit? Like,
yo, this is probably gonna blow cats' minds. Especially, yeah. But anyway, so I started writing when I was like 14.
Okay.
In the basement, playing I was on the Captain of the Hood. Play Larry Bird, these guys play like that. But at some point, I was a student of the live. So I had a lot of shit going on in my personal life that you don't really know about that. Except imagine. So I started writing to, kind of, not necessarily release the pain, but just write, to do something. Okay. And then I started, it was almost like therapy. I started writing in the basements, but then it was not you specifically, but people's like you in the basement started saying, hey man, that sounded kind of hot right there. That sounded kind of hot. Like you're getting better. You know what I mean? You're getting better. So I wasn't sure. I didn't have that kind of confidence in the situation, but I kept writing. And then it all came to fruition on one glorious day.
tell us about that glorious day, man. What glorious day was this?
Scott, what's up,
What
bro?
glorious day was this?
Yeah, I might even better give you a sound effect to go with this. But yeah, on one glorious day. But so it was in 11th grade in Glasgow. They was having a talent show. That was way out of my fucking league. You know what I'm saying? I'm a nerd.
Right.
But people mess with me because I don't know. People in the hood mess with me. People that went to Glasgow they mess with me.
It almost seems like every rapper is the last one to know that they nice.
Now, yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's true.
It's weird, right? It's like rappers always know that they're the last one to know that they nice.
Right. I was definitely, that's one of my afflictions, but we're gonna talk about that on some other shit. But ultimately, I decided, my homie said, yo, you should get in the talent show. And I'm one of them kind of people like, you get on a roller coaster and it's going up, and you really might want to get the fuck off now.
Hold on, who's that homie?
What the roller coaster?
No, who's the homie that said you should?
Who convinced you to get the talent show?
Oh, this was MC Tone.
Okay.
Okay.
MC Tone.
Shout out
I
MC
was
Tone.
gonna say
Shout out to
something about-
He's now DJ
Oh,
Tony.
yeah.
Shout out Frisco. What up, our king?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't want to give.
No. Go ahead. Yeah, you give him shout outs and all that.
Oh yeah, we giving flowers.
Yeah. This was when we had the 631 boys. You know, then it was BBD, and it was those squads. You know, the 631 was across the street from the Pleasance. We ain't gonna go down that road yet.
Right.
Everybody, they don't know them stories.
Yeah, they don't know
Yeah,
those stories.
yeah.
Those some different kind of stories.
Okay.
In fact, then the village.
Hello.
You know,
How are you?
but we can get into him. But yeah, ultimately, like for me, it was a talent show. I signed up for it, but I was so nervous, and I was like, man, you know, I don't really think I'm that popular. You know what I mean? Like I'm really not that popular, and that's okay. Like you know now, but at that time, it was not okay.
Still in your formative years. At that
Yeah.
time.
But however, one thing I wasn't a dummy, so I was smart. I said, let me find the coolest motherfucker in the school and have a beatbox, or one of the coolest dudes, and it was Preston. Remember Preston?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Preston.
Yeah. So Dr. Preston, we talked to him, he's like, yeah, I'll do it with you. I'm like, for real? He's like, yeah. So we wore a little Run DMC type bullshit. When I came out and spit it, it's like everything kind of changed from me a little bit. On the real talk. Like, instantly, like, some dudes was like no longer, you know, looking at me like I'm going to pick on this dude. I'm like, yo, what up, man? I'm gonna bump to this nigga, all right. You know?
Yeah.
And then, you know, obviously, the girls in the joint, you know, I remember, you know, a few of them running up or just shouting, you know, they didn't know my rap name. I didn't have no rap name.
Oh, shit.
So they were saying my government.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They was like,
I had to
You sound like you was there. You sound like you was there.
I think I was there. I'm pretty sure I was there.
You know. So for sure that went down. And then the next day that whatever word we use that day. But the thing that made me know it, but it really changed the whole thing. Like, this is what I'm doing. Because for some odd reason, that particular day, you know, we used to get bus from in town to go out there.
our bus was late. So you know how glass fitters be set up, all the buses roll right in front of you. So I'm standing out front, all the buses rolling by. But however, like on the buses, it's like cats that I don't even know. They as they ride by, I'm standing there like, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know,
You like this?
I'm looking around like,
Except for me.
oh, that's me. Oh, word.
Side.
You know, and then you know, a couple of ladies, you know, gave me a whole different kind of look.
Oh, Lord.
You know what I mean?
They on you.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't like, hi, Oya. It's like, hey, you know.
It was like, oh, yeah. Hey, oh, yeah. That
I
type
just
of shit.
start rolling off the tongue a little different.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, man.
So that is really, that's the point where I felt that I was nice, right, and made me want to continue.
Right.
And it just kind of blossomed from there.
You know, as a rapper, I know as a rapper for you, man, and y'all got a different relationship in terms of how you saw. Because I remember around that time. What's your thoughts in terms of this man?
Shout out Rob
That
Rob.
you-
Champagne me, please.
you know,
Champagne me,
Well,
please.
Well, in my eyes, and what I've seen in my life, I knew this gentleman. He was a little bit older than me, but I knew this gentleman even before the rap. You know, we playing football in the park. You know, he's older than me, but you know, I'm sort of kind of on, BBD, and over here. You know, they don't know about tone and that section in there. So to see when somebody I traded Atari tapes with come out with some of the hottest rhymes and things in their life, for them to necessarily stand you and say, hey, if you just say something about, hey man, you might have something in you, that meant so much more to me. Just like you don't know what's going on in your life. I didn't know I was that fly until people started saying it.
Right.
But when actually I was the beatbox. You know what I'm saying? I was Dougie Fresh the beatbox. But my idol, you know what I'm saying, at rapping idol, like I said, I'm giving flowers. My rapping idol was Grand G.
Right.
You know, so me as the beatbox, P, Fight Dog as the rappers, you know, we coming up as rappers in the hood. You know, well, in that little hood. Hey man, let's go to Grand for a beat. So we make the truck over the Husco. We go to the Husco. Right over the bridge. I don't know what street that is, but right over the bridge. But it was like right over like them garages right over, and you bust that left. So we go to the Husco, man. It's just like, and I ain't gonna lie, just like a garage, empty out garage with like some stuff in it. But I'm like, now I was like to see this.
It was a Husco.
But to see, you know what I'm saying? But to see, but the first time to see equipment and stuff like that up close, I'm like, this is the closest I've been to hip hop.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? This is the closest
To
I've
love
been
it like that, and then be like, oh wait,
right. This right. So I'm like, I've never seen like, wow, this is where it really gets made at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to make the story short, we there, we busting it up, having a good time. Shout out to Troy. You know what I'm saying? We get to the park, you know, like, can we get the beat? Yeah, you can get the beat. Can I get a ride from one of y'all? I'm the beatbox, right? You know, so I'm the beatbox.
I ain't got nothing.
Coach B like, you know, I ain't got nothing today. Brother Fight Dog was like, oh man, I ain't memorized my John.
Freeway was born that day.
Right, you know, so not to leave, you know, not to get out of there without the beat. I'm like, well, I got a rhyme. And I kicked the rhyme, man, and Grand G was like, hey, man, that was bad. I'm gonna take you to write that rhyme. And after he said, you know, that wasn't bad, how long we took you to write that rhyme? It was basically G said it. I said, and if anybody knows me, you know, for behind me, this is exactly where the inspiration, the genesis came from. When he said,
I said, Mama made it.
you should know
I
it.
have a question. It's a simple question. The name, where the name come from? Because you gave me humble beginnings. When did you say, oh, I need a goddamn name? How did that come
I'm
about?
brand motherfucking funky.
How did that come about?
You know,
Because that's not a regular name, goddamn it.
it morphed. You know, I think I went from like MC Heist.
Oh, we all had 15 names.
Yeah.
Until it gets to the name.
Yeah. And then
Everybody was a kid something.
yeah.
And then you was a fresh something. And then it morphed in.
I didn't do the kid thing too much.
Right.
I didn't do that. But so it just kind of flowed one day. It was more like, for me, I've always unfortunately had a real addiction to getting paid. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Especially coming out of when you face with certain situations.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
You know, you get addicted to getting money. And at that time frame, I did it at any cost. But I guess my point is I really couldn't see myself calling myself Mill. You know, at the time, and you know, I never even thought about 50 Cent. That wasn't really having paper.
Right.
You know what I mean? So for me, I was just like,
True,
yeah, I was like, you know, like $1,000. You know what I mean? I'm a grand, you know. So I was like, and then my last name starts with a G, so I was just like Grand G. That's
There it is.
And
Did it empower you in some way?
oh yeah, like it was like it's like an alias. I mean, not an alias. No, that's not what it really is. For me, it's like when I almost
second identity.
no, that's almost like I'm speaking almost in third person form already. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, Brandon is the person that is retelling stuff that I've personally been through firsthand or seen firsthand. But I've never really rapped. Now back then, and I'm obviously jumping. I'm talking about current. But back then, I hadn't really seen anything. So it was all happy, woo, dancing, everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That was the time.
And that was the time, right?
Shout out to the golden era, man.
Shout out to the
It was a great time.
Yeah.
It was a great time. Absolutely.
I am absolutely And I truly believe, however far this goes, if you ask any real hip hopper, none should have be disappointed they broke that era.
True.
Because, like I said, we came from an era, myself, not the baby of it, but we came since the conception. When you know what I mean? When the joint hit the joint,
Yeah.
that's where we're here.
Right.
You know, that's how far we in with hip hop.
That unique perspective on hip hop.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it's a beautiful thing to watch something be conceived and birthed just like a child. And we watched it grow. We the village that have nurtured it. We the village that have nurtured it. So
That's real.
so you know, I've always looked at it, I've always respected hip hop. And I guess when I was younger, my biggest issue was as far as styles, you know, I was talking about the other cats, I didn't want to have a style like that. So and once again, I was a little studious. So my rhymes had a lot of big words in them. That's not how other cats was rapping. Like the Molly Mall, none of that.
Expeditiously.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Hemisphere. Like what 19-year-old motherfucker ain't
Right.
from the hood say hemisphere?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I guess my point is
I was a nerd.
you know, there was
I
two
understood
things.
hemisphere. I
Right.
understood every big word he said. I said,
It kind of empowered me to say, hey, if he like that rap, I ain't got to say the other shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's kind of what it was for me. My style, I guess I would say that creative because one, I really love Big Daddy Kane. I love his metaphor. I love his swag, how cool he was on the mic, like the voice, like
You know, like for hip hop to me, it's different than like current hip hop. Not that I disrespect it, I don't disrespect no more. But like I don't disrespect everybody. I have a personal opinion that's, and I had it, but I guess back then, I come from an era where it's like, you know, it was more concentrated on
different aspects of that. It was not necessarily concerned with the beat. Now, if the beat happened to be hot too, but I was just like bonus it. You know what I mean? But that's why cats rap. The song was like 5 minutes. These cats was rapping. Like they showing you that they lyrical. And you know that's how and it's about fluctuation in the voice, cadence. Like I'm not trying to say this arrogantly, but I just you know, from a rapping standpoint, like it's just what I do. It's therapeutic. I love it. It's a passionate hobby, and I just feel like I ain't gonna be right because like it's imprinted in my DNA.
always say this. Y'all know I use this example often. I always say that the era that we came from, when songs came on, we listened like this. We didn't dance. We listened like this.
They call it ear tool.
Yeah, because it was you didn't want to miss any of the wordplay. You didn't want to miss any of the entendres. You didn't want to miss nothing.
You gotta
But it's,
understand,
you know,
his
it's
mind
different.
and all that was different back in
Yeah.
'86. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So you got to listen
You
to
can break it.
it.
You can break it. You can fuck up with cassette tape.
Oh, we did. We fucked up a lot of
Yeah.
it.
Let me listen attentively so I don't fuck up more.
Shout out Wing Jiggy. Shout out Darius Davis.
Thank y'all for walking with us, man.
But that was the era of we didn't when it first came on. I just remember myself like this, like oh shit, it's wordplay, like it was ridiculous. That drew. So when you say it, because to me, Big Daddy was one of the quintessential templates of a rapper.
Yes.
The voice, the cadence,
Yes, right.
the wordplay, the style.
Right.
You know what I
The
mean?
full content pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very, you know, he had a lot of metaphors and similes. Like that's what I liked about him. I'm using one now. That is what I liked about him most. It was the other person that took me over the top.
Who's that other person?
It was Karis One.
Because
Well,
it's weird because you got
it was
every era has
but it was
3 heads almost.
from a style standpoint. It was the best of both. Like I'm very. No, I can be sarcastic, you know, and I play with the words, and
Braggadocious, as we call
not necessarily, but yeah, I can do that too if I have to. But I guess the point was, I still was using big words, and I really didn't hear anybody doing that. And so Karis One made me feel like, yo, it's cool to be smart on the mic. Like, fuck it. It's all right.
Yes.
And not only was he smart on the mic, maybe before his time, and he still had all the other intangibles, the cadence, the voice. You know, those beats weren't intricate. I always say like, I need beats that can breathe. Like beats need to be able to breathe. Like those are the type of tracks, and that's the era I come from. The tracks breathe, and it was left for the MC to keep you entertained.
Explain what that means.
But like the track breathing,
Track breathe. To those who don't understand, explain what that means.
I mean, like-
track breathe.
like, and I can even get it for like current, like this young music. Like, you know, the track might have that bop to it where, you know, like doom, doom, you know, they be like, no. And so the track, it don't have a lot of things going on inside the track. So it's room for the MC to carry the track. But what's happening is, personally, when I hear a track flooded with a whole bunch of instruments, that means the MC probably ain't very careful. Either whether it be a voice or whether, you know, fucking spitting. But yeah, for me personally, I've always done well with tracks that can breathe, you know, and I prefer those. But like I said, KRS One made me feel like, yo, it's cool to be, you know, it's cool to be smart. Go ahead and kick that. And then, like I said, that's what led to writing and then to the talent show. And then that talent show led me to Project Upload.
Wow. You just put that timeline together, man. I ain't
Trying to do a
even
quick switch, because I know motherfuckers got shit. So, you jamming something out. You know what I'm saying? So, so we had a talent show. We had a talent show.
Special way.
Oh
I
shit!
got it made.
But did you win?
Great stuff.
But did you
I
win?
want to say, speaking of talent, anybody else was speaking of talent shows or shows. Back in the days, you already got, you know, well, Project S's hit. You down 4th Street Park rocking. That's legendary, iconic.
Rockin' with who though?
Now, if you're from the tri-state area, that knock your top
No,
off.
yeah, top.
When you hear that shit,
Yeah.
the roof off.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? But to get back, y'all had a show. Zeke's crib. Oh, I go there too. Zeke's crib. I'm like, oh, everybody from Project X and all the people, they got a damn TV show as well. These are the dopest motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life. Shout out to MC Isaiah, Zeke, Silk and Satin, Fred Films again. Give him something radical. That's what I'm saying. I'm leaving out names. DJ Parks.
Yeah.
Craig B.
Yes.
Craig B.
Craig B.
Craig B. That's what I'm saying. Like you know what? I love. That's what I'm saying. I brought up Zeke's crib. Talk about Zeke's crib just for a second. Talk about Zeke's crib.
Oh wow, man! Like it's so far, you know, because we don't have. That's my biggest regret right now. You know, like I don't have any of that like memorabilia. Like I don't have that footage because it would do my heart well in my current situation. You know, just to show my kids that kind of stuff. But anyway, the whole thing, like I don't even know how we got to that point. Of creating this situation.
I don't mean to stop. You don't know how you got to Zeke's crib. It's just shit just moving.
Well, you know, I'm just saying, like, I don't know how, like, the brain trust of these ideas come up. Because for me, especially then, I'm older now, so it's slowed down somewhat. Man, my thing be like, you know, my thing be firing. And so it just be stuff coming out, and then in the right scenario with the right people around, like, oh, I can do that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
And then they add, and then when you start adding, my brain start coming up with a new flow.
Yeah.
And
Let
so,
Rick in, please.
so ultimately, I honestly can't say like who like came up with the idea in general. All I can say is I came up with the concept of what to do once they said, oh, we're gonna do this. I was like, oh man, you know what? I'm gonna put some light on some shit. Like I was like, yo, we're gonna do this joint. So somebody Zeke's crib, right? But he don't really live in his crib.
Right.
He live in his mom's crib.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he's so
Zeke the freak
yeah,
from
yeah.
Conrad Street.
But he's so, you know, he's so he's so kind of like hood mentality. You don't realize, like, no, nigga, you live with your mom.
Right.
And what year was this?
Oh, shit.
In the golden era.
Just to let them know,
Yeah,
what
this
year
is-
was this?
Oh, this was the same time frame. 88,
That's what I'm saying.
89, 90. Yeah.
Continue. 88, 89.
Yeah, so
Shoot.
this is when, before Comcast became Comcast, it was like Heritage Cable. So
Rollins came.
Rollins.
Rollins. The 3 levels. The 3 levels on it.
And he was,
Yeah.
and he better not be pressing all of them.
You that motherfucker stuck in your ass, bro. Protein box with the 3 levels.
But yeah, so
Crazy,
So,
crazy.
yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah, it's
Literally a cable connected to the TV. That shit was crazy.
oh man, I'm just thinking about it. But the point is, so once that materialized, and I was like, okay, so, you gotta excuse me sometimes, but forget where I'm going. That's some old shit. You know what I'm saying?
Zeke had that.
No, I'm
We got
not
time.
with you.
We got time.
I'm with you.
It's the Fire 90 podcast. We got
We got
time.
a legend, man. Mine's fucking idol, rapping idol, so he can rap, go to the forest.
Point, I always try to be different. You know what I'm saying? With whatever. So I try to be different to do that kind of oxymoron, to do that. We try to be clear, but no motherfucker, you let me just right over that, right over that. You know, we're gonna bet, oh, you ain't actually wrong. Then it's like, you're gonna put you wrong, and this is where you're gonna do it. You have to stand up to the moment. That's kind of how we did it, man. Like, and you do shout out to that. You know, like 50 Boy.
Really asking, like, this is the
I
original
was gonna say
You know,
Tone, Has,
Tone.
Busy.
John Jones,
Ooh.
you know, Chris Monroe, Chris Allen. You know, that was our squad, you know, and if I'm missing by, please forgive me.
That's Brother Bane's big brother.
Yeah,
Chris
I know.
Allen, that's what I'm saying, like-
yeah. Absolutely. So ultimately, like, that's how it morphed, and I was like, yo, I thought it was funny, man. I was gonna come up and write this shit, and that's what I'm gonna do. Don't you think this would be funny? And I'm writing this shit, you know what I mean? Don't you think this shit would be funny? And so in that same place, the Hustle became like today's production.
Right.
You know, we
Based
wasn't
on
just
studio.
we wasn't just doing music. It turned into just cats, just some young kids.
It was
That
a
was just-
hub
Yeah, it
for
was a
creative people. What
Right.
you doing?
That's a good
This is
one.
where
I'm
I
gonna
can
go with
come I can get my idea off.
Right.
They might even have the stuff to facilitate
that. Right.
my idea getting off, but I know a lot of times you can't bounce this stuff off of just regular people.
Right.
But
Right.
everybody's like, okay, now we're like-minded people, and we got some of the things in here to kind of facilitate our dreams. Like I said, I've never been that close to anything like that. You know what I'm saying? You just hear it. I'm just hip hop. You just hear it, and then when we get a little bit closer, okay, that's somebody from around here. Okay, good.
Right.
Oh no, that's somebody from where I'm from. That gets even closer. Oh, that's somebody from. That's tackle me in the damn grass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They say, get the fuck up, yo, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I remember I was like, man, your nickname when we played football was Dirt. Dirt.
Real shit, man.
Dirt, man. I'm saying that predates the rapping.
Yeah.
So that's how long I've been.
Yo, don't be unearthing no more.
No,
It's very
You know what I'm saying? No, this is all flowers. I try to say the love that I have. Like I said, it was crazy because I was like, hold on. I've told everybody that's willing to listen that Grand G is my idol, my rapping idol. He was so close to me, and he was nice, and he was doing this shit further and further and further. I was like, damn, never ever told Grand G. So most of the time I'm trying to work with the motherfucker and do some shit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was like, damn. So with that being said, I was so glad.
I was the whole thing for me.
I tell you all that shit.
When I was doing the stuff in there, doing Zeke script and music and stuff, like there was, you know, at that time there was kids coming. I didn't know who they was, but I didn't even know what I was doing. You see what I'm trying to say? Like I didn't know what was helping them out. You know, later in life I see some cats that came and said, yo, you don't know who I am, but blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, cool, but I just was a young dude lost. This guy, you know, Troy, he believed in me, threw some bread in me, and I didn't want to let him down. That was it. I didn't want to let myself down. So I just went hard with it, and anything I thought I could do, like, he he gave me the belief like, yo, you talented, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. You just gotta go do it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to do it all. I want to make beats. I want to rhyme. I want to engineer. I want to make movies. Just all that big dreaming shit.
So
Sure.
dig this. Speaking of big dreaming, right? You talked about you did the shows with Tough Crew, and you was doing it,
Yeah.
right? So and I don't know how much you want to divulge
Mm-hmm.
because people watching probably like, damn, he
How close was you to the shit?
why did he make it?
How close was you to the shit? That's what he said.
Share what you
You
want
were
to share.
so close to the shit.
Share what you want to share.
Say that shit.
And let the people know what happened. Did you make it? If not, why didn't you make it? Like,
Yeah,
talk to them.
there's a couple of stories, but
Okay.
but they all go on the same timeline. First and foremost, let me explain to you how Project got to the point so that you'll understand the key. Okay. That I met. You understand that. So like I said, that situation. No, I don't want to take a picture of it, but it doesn't have to die. And not and we want to do not just pictures of the investment, the professional photography, film, and we did that. And we going to New York to go find Doc people. And that's when I found DJ Doc, which was Ivan Doc Rodriguez. And he worked at Fireplace Studios. So,
Now you calling shots at this. This is a far cry from the talent show in 11th grade.
oh yeah, this is this is
It's a different dude.
Yeah, this is a different dude. Yeah,
And to call somebody Doc, when he say Doc into the beast, if you don't know, you don't know. You say Doc, oh, okay, engineering, all that kind of stuff. It's only one Doc Rodriguez.
Yeah, Ivan Doc Rodriguez. And at that time frame, just to put it in perspective, think about hip hop being such a small, small community. But he, to that small community, would be like, he would be the Jay-Z of engineering.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, like, if you wanted this song, there was other cats doing stuff, but like, if you wanted this song guaranteed to be banging, this is
He
the
was a
guy.
proven commodity.
He was a proven
Yeah,
commodity.
put 27 on your file.
Yeah. So, one of the things about me is I'm super determined. I'm hyper. I'm going for it because I've been at the very bottom. So I'm in New York, and I just start hanging out in front of the studio just every day.
Right.
Standing out there. Hey, motherfuckers come in. Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey. Yeah, just like, so I'm telling you, it's just like a movie. Like, if they show that scene, it went from hey outside to next thing you know, they're like, how you come sit in the lobby? Now I'm in the lobby. Hey. Hey. Then next thing you know, I was talking to Doc. He came out and said, yo, man, what's your story, man? You should hang around that lobby. Yeah, like, what the fuck do you want?
Right.
So, straight up, I was like,
Real shit.
I said,
What do you want from me?
keep hanging around like this, like some weirdo. Now that I think about it, it's a little weird. But I did what the fuck I had to do, and I told him, I said, yo, I'm from something. I explained to him what these white boys, they don't know what they're doing. I know who you are. I had done some research on it, started patting his ego, like tell me, give me the flowers. And he was like, oh, all right, well, I charge. And I already knew he worked with big time artists. I didn't know what he was going to charge. I just knew this is the guy that needs to do it. He was already doing Rock Chem shit. He was doing Big Marky shit. He was doing EPMD shit. I mean, these are all.
So let me put the fork. Hold on. So when you said you knew he charged a lot of money, how the fuck was you gonna pay for that? Real quick.
Oh, real simple. His name is Troy.
Right.
Okay, cool. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Shout out Troy.
Yeah. His name is Troy. Oh, no question about it. So we talked. He said, "Let me hear some stuff." I played it. He said, "Oh yeah, they fucked good." He told me all the things they did wrong, and he was explaining that it was supposed to have. This was all knowledge that I was absorbing. He's like, "Yeah, it's supposed to have special code on it. I don't know if I can mix it." Wait a minute, he knew some. I call it some nigga tricks. You know what I mean? Like he had some workarounds, and he was like, "I'll do it." and then he charged
The
us
cab.
like a whole different price. But
Red
I
Cups
stayed in,
cab.
when I tell you I stayed in that studio with this dude every second while he mixed.
That's my daughter.
And
That's
just
my daughter
watch.
with the red cups.
I watched, and every once in a while I might ask him, "Why did you do that?" And he'd be like, "Okay, so I did that because." So I learned how to mix from him.
You get a
on
crash
that-
course. Like,
Yeah, I'm getting a crash course from Fred. Like he's wrong.
No, you get a crash course from Jordan.
Yeah, sort of like
Jordan.
that. It's something like that. Yeah, I mean,
From
much.
did you keep up though?
Oh, absolutely. Like
Okay, well,
listen,
shit.
because you
God
got
damn it, like, you.
You gotta remember, he's a computer guy.
Your dad did.
Right, you gotta remember my life didn't completely change that. I'm still a nerd. So it wasn't nothing fast he was doing. I just needed to know why he was doing it. You know, so he would tell me. And just I guess he just took a likeness to me under his wing. So we started from that point to once this project album was done, we go through our thing, I come back up there. And he still let me in. But he only let me in when the clients is involved.
And then we talk and he showing me shit and I'm doing this and that. And then he like, look, the first time he tried it, he was like, look, and that's a client thing. Here's what you need to do. Chill and just, basically stay invisible. But if they say you from that, that ain't gonna be on me. I got love for you, but this they can't. I didn't know who it was. Go. It's fucking EPMD and Redman.
I'm sorry, EPMD and K Soda.
Skirt record scratch.
Same record scratch, nigga. Shit.
Record
That's
scratch.
right, that's the same record scratch.
Skirt. You see, you sitting there with Ivan Rodriguez, the Jay-Z of engineering.
Yep.
And around this time, EPMD is blowing, but they ain't blow.
Well,
Well, what do they probably blow? I mean, they probably went higher, but they somebody right.
Yeah, they in full mode.
Proceed.
Yeah, they in full mode. And for me, the funny backstory to it is, what kind of time we got, nigga? I don't want to make this.
Bro,
Okay.
what do you think, man?
Nah. Just start shit.
We got that shit, man.
Start shit, nigga.
As far as I know, this is
Start
shit.
shit.
My man,
Tired, bro.
do that something, bro. We
We here till you
I
get tired,
think I made all the payments. I think we made all the payments on
Gucci.
You good. I think we ain't got no more invoices. We good. Go ahead. Proceed.
So they come in. And I had never been, really out of Delaware. I mean, I've been up here a couple times.
That's a little different out there. It's a little
But
different.
it was a little different. Like these dudes were humongous. Like in comparison to, I was like,
Yeah, I
yo.
get it. Definitely.
So I was overwhelmed with that aspect and just the fact that who they were. But I just chilled and
You finagled your way into some shit.
I just chilled. And next thing you know, they was start talking. They was like, "Yo, what's up, man?" And I'm like, "Hey, how y'all doing?" He wasn't using that.
All right.
Yeah,
I got you.
yeah, we wasn't.
Nigga said, I got you.
Like, no. So they doing their thing, they boxing and shit. They doing all kinds of stuff. So they put the track on. So what I'm really watching for is I'm trying to see if I'm doing it right. You know what I'm trying to say?
Taking notes.
I'm taking notes like a motherfucker. Like
Right.
this, they already made it at that time. So they was doing what you saying. So they turn the track on.
Huge
It's like
fucking record.
it's like. They got the old Earth, Wind, and Fire. And I'm like, yo.
It's a huge fucking record.
So they got that shit and they recording. I'm watching these cats. I'm like, and then my confidence level going like way up here because I'm like, I'm looking at them and saying, from a technical standpoint, I'm not doing anything different. It's just gonna be about my skill set. I'm in the right studio. I'm fucking with the right dude. So now it's just trying to tighten up. So I actually moved to New York, like
Hit that day.
well, not that.
You were living in New York City one time.
Right, yeah.
You just formally in your mind said,
Let me get some keys or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm already in the line with a pillow or some shit. An actual pillow.
Now we was this whole time, that whole shit we was commuting. And I was in Delaware, and so so my people's felt Troy said like, yo, man, I think you might got something. You need to go hang up there. So he hooked something up with some of his people where I can stay. And
Shout out Troy.
yeah.
Shout out Troy.
Yeah, absolutely. All day long. it was some really strange rules, but it was, you know, I understood it. You know what I mean? He was like, yo, I got 3 rules. First and foremost, don't be fucking with my daughter.
That's a 3 solid rule.
Okay. We agree on number 1. Let's go.
And he made it very, I mean, he went right to it. He was like, number 2, he said, when I get up from work, I don't give a damn, you ain't got no job. Nah, you got to get up with me and you got to leave.
That's also another
And
rule.
he was like, and you can't come back in here. And I was like, you know, at this point, I had never, I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? I'm ready to do whatever. And then he said, and number 3, it was like, do not be eating nothing in this damn house unless you finish. Clear. I was like, I'm clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm clear. And you know, he was supposed to, you know, do this grandiose thing for me, show me how to, you know, travel in New York. I'm definitely. I was always going directly there. We had GPS back in the day. My dad used the map.
The map. That's it.
75 pages. Get up and walking up the hill. Matter of fact, he did in Spanish Harlem on 141st Street.
I'm very familiar with the dynamic Broadway, St. Nick, Convent. I'm very familiar.
So I'm walking up the street with him, and all these, you know, Dominicans keep going, what's up? What's up? What's up?
Thank you, don't they?
And I was like, what's up? You know, what's up? And I'm thinking to myself, man, these are the friendliest motherfuckers I ever met in my life. Like, what? They're not New York. Dude's like, yo, come here. He grab, you know, he kind of grabbed me and said, this
Friendly for a reason.
They asked me what's up because I'm black in that community, you know, we try to buy drugs. Right? I didn't know, like, oh shit. So my whole demeanor changed at it. I'm like, oh, okay. All right, now I pay those motherfuckers no mind. Right? And keep pushing. So he walked me to the substation, subway joint, bought like X amount of bags of tokens. They be a mad. I thought this dude was very like, show me how to get around New York. Nah, nigga. Here, he handed me the tokens. He said, you not read a map? He said, if you don't, you're gonna learn. There you go. And said, I get home at 5. Right?
Turn you right around, nigga. Get out of here. Figure it out.
Here you go. Can we give a shout out to the Passion? Yo, nigga, put out there on the cliff to say, hey,
See you at 5. Ain't no better way to learn than that, though.
that's good. 3-4 states away. Here's some tokens.
No better way to
We
learn.
got a system.
Right.
If you can work these motherfucking machines and these
Survive.
beats, motherfucker work this map and these
Survive.
coins.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
You know,
wow.
survival.
Yeah.
Salute, man.
How did that
Out of that situation.
briefly? How did that?
I mean, that thing spawned the whole situation of me just riding subways, and in that time frame, in that era, cats wasn't like super millionaires where they could live, you know, some fucking crazy place. It was all regular cats, and we could catch up with them on the subway.
Right.
So when we ride so many subways, I ran into different cats like Q-Tip, the whole squad.
Wow.
Oh, native tongue.
Yeah, the Gangstar, just every artist you could possibly think of at some point. And so then they started having, this is what took it to the next level, is after that, the record, my relationship with Doc, they started having what they call the new music seminars.
Okay. You going back on them, man.
Yeah.
Press kits and
Yeah. So like the new music seminars were essentially, in today's time, they would kind of be like the Grammys for cats that's trying to get put on. You know?
you perform outside or performing the Grand, you perform right outside the Grammys.
Yeah, it's more like it was and that's probably not doing this a service. It was a net. That's what it was. It was a place to come network, okay, with artists, record labels, everything that dealt with hip hop in one place, in one space. And it got so popular. Then Atlanta did one called the Jack the Rapper. You know, Atlanta did one, but at the time, that was the only thing doing it. So everybody came, even if you was in LA. You know what I'm saying? And so I went to the first joint, and it's gonna be a crazy story, but Premier, Premier. His name's Chris. So and so Premier was like, I seen him, I was with Silver Sat, and he liked one of them. And he was like, yo, you quit them? So he didn't really give a fuck about me.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I was gonna use this
Right
to my
time.
but I'm
Right
gonna use,
place, right
yeah,
time.
yeah, but I'm gonna use this to my advantage.
Right.
I was like, oh yeah, okay, man, I got you, man. You know, basically what you want them to pay, not in that same way, but for the introduction. And so we chit chat, busted up, so he started hanging around, and then it kind of got to the point where me and him just started hanging around. And we would go to
That's a huge connection.
yeah,
What?
he would
That time.
wherever event they were having, I would find him and sit with him and just
Okay.
keep collecting.
He is familiar.
Yeah. Well, at the time, both of them was there. Was Keith and Premier.
Well, I'm saying, I was just saying, Premier is my favorite. You know,
Oh,
so
yeah.
so for you, my idol to be hanging with my favorite. Dang, buddy.
Yeah, but that, I said that to the point with Phil's trying to say like that. Look at that, take it out and run and never do it. It made me die, really never die. That one that we did more than 45 games and that season. And it just kind of spawned to all of them. And that's what a lot of them that you see like that. You see coming down and you got to be back up to pay. But you know, if you invite you to have to pay. And so yeah, I was there the first year,
And I heard one of the dopest lines I've ever heard in battle rap. At the time frame, it was Tretch. He was battling this chick named L.A. Star. And you know how they got the verses right now?
Right.
They did that at the New Music Seminar all the time. Like that was part of that's what we gonna do. They did it with the DJs and they did it with the rappers. And then they kind of morphed it to the beat people, but at that point it wasn't really, technology made it like you didn't want to come to it, right? But initially that was like real hip hop cred. And the New Music Seminars, you got in that rap battle and Hammer the Joker.
You'll be sorry somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll
Everybody came
pretty
to
soon, right?
Everybody came.
Oh, if he killed them.
Yeah.
We need to put them on.
So Tretch, her name was L.A. Star, obviously from LA. And so, I don't know all the stuff he said before, but I'm gonna just make it. So he said something like, your style ain't up to par. He said, but I'm gonna tell you what, the only star you are is a Monstar. You know what I'm saying? And like the whole joint.
That's 89, 90. God damn, it just says,
But at the time, but this is Tretch. And at the time, that was heavy. You know what I mean?
That was
Like,
super heavy.
to take the word star and play with it and put Monstar, I mean, that was heavy. I mean, nowadays cats do it all the time. But back then, that was a mic drop right there. She was dying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I've seen a lot of the cats, and hung around a lot of the cats, like the poor righteous teachers.
Shout to Wise Intelligent.
You know,
Yeah.
because I was up there all the time, and that's how I met 45 King, and where that whole flavor unit was recorded, Rakim Shabazz, all that. So I started recording there, and that's where I recorded Riverside Buckets from 6.
Oh,
Because I went in that studio and seeing how things was working, and the 45 King was showing me, showing a couple of things to me. And I guess my point is I was like, yo man, that'd probably be a good studio to get that kind of edgy, because I loved 45 King. I loved his sound, like at that time.
So you telling me you took Isaiah up to Jersey to do
Isaiah and Peebo.
excuse me, all bow to and a Peebo, my motherfucking side chick, Tyson knocking right the people in and shit. Right. So you took MC Isaiah and people up north to record the joint.
They drove it themselves, but they
Well, I'm saying not.
Yeah.
No, see. Okay,
Yeah, I got
proceed.
you.
I just want to
Yeah.
make sure that Peebo and MC Isaiah.
Oh, that's
Jersey. North New Jersey, 45 King flavor unit.
No.
Well, I'm sorry, 45.
No, that was recorded in New Jersey.
Yeah, that's what's in New Jersey.
The Airway studio was in New Jersey, right off of 42nd Street, like on that 15th floor of this building. I don't know the building, but I would know it if I see it. It's still there. But yeah, it was on a different floor of a studio I was recording in below. Not that I'm recording, that Premier used to record it. So this is how I ran into these jokers.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I was on the elevator.
You in the loop now.
Well,
Not only
that,
kind of.
I was kind of a nosy motherfucker. gotta,
As you should.
so while you
You
know,
gotta impose your will sometimes.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
this point, you kind of, as you get closer, you know. Well, let me show.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts at the time?
I just don't, I just never been like a bugaboo type thing. So I would try to
Shout
manage
out
my,
to LOG.
I try to manage my time. Like, so I'm like, okay, I'm in there with Premier now, and I've been in there for like an hour or two. Like, I go out and go get something to eat, so they wouldn't feel like I'm just sitting here.
Yeah.
But in the process, I'm surveying the joint. Like, I'm thinking, what is the biggest? Maybe some other things. So I actually walked by and bumped into Airways Studio, and I heard the tracks playing, and I already knew who the nigga was that made them contracts. So I'm like, oh, I wonder if- so I knocked on the motherfucking door. Like, shit. Back then I was bold.
Yeah.
You know, I used to be down with my baby right here. You know,
Shout out, double R.
Hey.
In the building.
Yes, sir.
Double R in the building, man. You
Yeah, I
know,
wasn't shy anymore. Listen.
Yeah, I'm here right.
Yeah,
But this is a far cry from that.
yeah,
Like I said, we're talking 11th grade talent show to now.
yeah.
Hey man, what's behind this goddamn door, man?
Right,
Hey,
man.
man.
Because I felt like I was there, and I didn't want, before like the Eminem song, get one chance. So that's how I felt. I was like I could taste it. I was like, ain't no time to be. I wasn't gonna do nothing bullshit, but I'm like, I don't know what's going on. What should we take? What should we say? But you look the part. But I could see. I'm like, yeah, I said, yeah, Mark's in here, right? He's like, you know Mark? I said, nah, I don't know him, but I said I do know of him. And then just wanted to say a few things. He goes, well, Mark, you know this guy? Like, no.
Close that door, dog.
Oh,
So he said to the door. So, needless to say, I know where this motherfucker at, though. So now I'm spending a whole
Mission accomplished.
Now I spend a whole lot of time in the hallway. Like, I'm gonna catch this nigga in the hallway, and then that's what happened. One of the times I caught him in the hallway in the elevator, and I just started talking. I said, hey, man, I came up there, like, whatever time frame had elapsed. I said, yo, I wasn't trying to do X, Y, Z. I'm down here with Premier. He's like, you in the street with Premier? I said, oh, yeah, you want to come in? You know what I mean?
Oh, shit.
Listen, now he's blind. Now I'm right the game now.
LA dropping.
Yeah,
Right.
right. Yeah, I'm definitely name dropping. And, you know what I mean? It wasn't phony. Like,
You deliver on
I
that.
got one now.
So he walked by, he went to the studio, peeked in, and he's like, oh, they really knew each other. They bust up a little bit, he keep it pushing. And then he go out, and I said, yeah, man, I told you I wasn't trying. He said, it's cool, man. He said, if you ever, go up to the studio, I'm there, man, I know who you are. That's how it began. So, and that's how I met him. That's how that relationship began. I didn't hang up with him as much as the person I hung with the most would have been Doc, and it would have probably been Mayor. And then I would probably say,
Give it up for DJ Premier, man.
Yeah.
God,
Give it up for Doc DJ. That's my favorite producer of all time. Fucking Premier, man, the G-A-N-G, the S-E-A-R-R. Production, please.
But listen, okay. So with that being said, tell me a couple. I want to know. All right. Now, you done pretty much bogarted your way for the most part. You done bogarted your way into this joint.
East Side style, though.
Yeah, you bogarted your
I
way
just
in.
want to say
Bro,
something.
you finesse your way.
I just want to say something. They keep me quiet because I just want to fanboy you.
Oh, man.
It's just Go ahead. I know all the stuff. Please let it go. Please let it go. Because I'm like, yo, Grant is my guy, this and that. I'm like, I just want to fanboy over him. Please. I'm glad. Please. Because I just be fucking it up.
No, man, you so man.
Nah, man.
So let's hit the fast forward button. Now the game is there. You're familiar with the landscape. You know the lay of the lands. Let's move to
You know how it is.
the seminal moment of the recordings that we all know and love.
Ho.
Let's move to the recording.
So
Now we get to the meat and potatoes.
actual time of recording some of these songs.
Let's get to it, man. Your moments. What's what's the seminal moments to you? Because we all know and love the songs. You've already bogarted your way in.
Right.
You didn't learn the lay of the land. You didn't grew up.
Right. So at that time, so I'm trying to make sure I understand the question. You want to know how I felt when I was at the different moments when I recorded Project X? Or how
I don't want pigeonhole you. Let's just move forward to when you start getting it. Let's you didn't art you with Premiere, you got the mojo, you
Okay.
getting it now.
Oh, okay. And
Let's
then-
go.
Okay, so
You recording now.
I'm recording.
Talk to me.
I'm recording. I'm doing all the shit I'm supposed to do. Doc is mixing this shit. Everything's going great. You know, we put the joint out. It made a lot of noise in the tri-state area. You know, I did shows up in New York and Jersey with different artists. We all kind of did, mostly like me and you know, Fred G, because he had a nice dance cut.
I would like to say it probably would have did more for Brandon G personally if it went, like you said at the beginning, but it actually did put a lot of other people on the
Yeah,
map.
it went the way it
But
was
it kind of
supposed to go.
pulled you back.
Yeah, you know, so they put other people in
hindsight,
in
in hindsight,
yeah, in hindsight, it definitely went well because that album became bigger than like it became its own thing. You know what I'm saying? There's different generations that took the stand that, and it was one better than another, and only they know. You know, that I'm just finding out later in life that I might encounter some people that and they just tell me. But like I said, I recorded some, got everything together, making noise,
And it didn't happen with Project X. It didn't happen with Project X. We went up to go record something. The end of Project X was we went up to go record a song,
Beside you, no, it's more.
and
Yeah.
we parked in front of the studio,
In the box.
and it was always busy, so we
No.
parked in front of the studio.
I know those
Yeah,
times.
especially on 42nd.
I know them times. I mean,
So we just parked in front of the studio and trying to like make sure that the people were ready for the session before we haul all this heavy ass stuff. Now, for whatever reason out there, he locked the door, maybe he didn't, I don't know. We was parked in front of a police station. These jokers stole everything I had. And the more important thing was what the demise of Project X and why my life turned in a different direction was they stole my disc. So I wouldn't have gave a fuck if they kept the disc and stole all the equipment because I could have just bought new equipment. But the disc
you can't.
had at that time frame had years and not years, I would say countless hours of surfing through records and snares.
It's like somebody still in the like Drake losing his BlackBerry.
Yeah.
I mean-
It's like today's time if one of these producers' hard drive just cracked.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and
Listen, the house flooded. I lost all my beats.
yeah.
You know, so like 3-4 guys lost their albums.
So not only could I not do anything like for Project X, it was the stuff that I had that was great. I was about to do me, and then hit them with the here's Project X, and oh by the way, that made a little noise. It'll make a little bit more noise if you throw some passion to this. And I have an album that gonna make some noise.
Right, like I'm
We
coming back
coming with something not proven, and I'm gonna tell you this shit gonna work. And so they stole it, and it was like the most pivotal point of my whole career. Like I gave up. I was like, man, this shit ain't supposed to be. It ain't supposed to be meant to be. So plus I had a daughter at the time frame, and the shit I was trying
Like
was
comes at you fast.
just sit there. It wasn't buying diapers. Big Rabbit wasn't buying diapers and Similac. And I just couldn't see me being one of them type people. So
Creative passion in terms of because of course it may not be at the forefront because of other responsibilities, but did you ever lose that creative passion in terms of that pen work? Was that pen always working?
yeah, like that's the thing. Like the best way I can describe it, the short version would be, actually to answer your question, no, the love is like it's embedded in me. Like I've been trying to, I try to fight it, go do something else. It'll always be like, you come over here. I would probably say the thing that I've worked on consistently in the background is mixing in third is my beats, making beats. But you know, for me, you know, this whole time, the best way to describe it is I evolved with hip hop as if I was in the forefront. Like I have, you know, I've been rapping ever since Project. I got, you know, this my homies used to tell me all the time, man, why you gotta like keep doing all this good motherfucking music and just keep letting us hear it. You know, like put it on the internet. But I'm like a private dude, and so you know, I just
What made you that way in terms of because okay, so you have 11th grade, I made it. I'm broke now. I've moved away. I've broken through.
I'm not even.
I've
done.
learned the ways, and then now I'm a private dude. What was the connection there? That because you went from you was there,
Mhm.
and now I'm a private dude where I'm not going to share none of my music. It's just for me and the homies. What made that change? What was the change?
I mean, you know, just give you the short version. I mean,
In the long version,
no, I won't do that.
Right.
I guess I did the legal version I can give you. You know, I just decided.
the names of basically been held to protect the innocent. Say that's what I'm sorry. Statue of limitations and all that shit.
But ultimately, I just took that understand that most. And because God let me continue that life in professional. So at that time frame, life was what you think. Yeah, and
That's the motto.
But it's a little different when like things are your pillar of the foundation of who you were at that time frame. Like these were the pillars that was holding you strong, and somebody all of a sudden took you sight these they ain't real pillars and knocked them to them.
They
Like
keep the priests from the
like between my family being like one of those pillars, that relationship, and then music being that second thing. You know, the family thing, somebody, you know, sort of saying broke pillar. Second thing, equipment gets stolen. I just was like, yo, it's stacked up against me. So I'm like, man, I'm creating these streets. That's pretty much for that. So they these motherfucking streets. My daughter needs some milk. She needs some Similac.
Talk about it.
My wonderful, I can say it now, my wonderful baby mom. But at that time frame, she wasn't trying to none of that. You know, she wanted, you know, they want what they wanted and what I was supposed to do. You know, I think my biggest mistakes was it was never. I chose my daughter over my career, but that wasn't the mistake. The mistake was once I got my shit together, I should have went right back at it, like full force, like I did in my 30s, which is going to try to lead up to explaining that I was signed to it. Like I got something to do.
Good brother, please, good brother, please. Me myself, like I said, when he told me I could rhyme, I stopped listening to anything else you said to me. So I've been following rhyming, you making beats. You like, oh, fresh. You know what I'm saying? Even a little bit later on, you know what I'm saying? You was living in a different place over the bridge. You're like, man, play some beats. I'm like, man, you can rhyme, play beats, all this kind of shit. So with that, you know what I'm saying? With all these kind of things, I always tell anybody, especially people who I've seen deliver before. You know what I'm saying? Even you ain't delivered before, but he's delivered, what, 30 years ago? 30 some odd years ago?
Yeah, no, let's not date me.
We all dated.
I know.
No, we hip hop. We don't
You're
get
right, but I'm
we
saying,
age, but we don't get old. Nigga.
what a lot of people don't understand is from where I stand and where I look is, I can't even say you was one hit away. You had to hit. I really don't know what happened to Grand G, but what people don't understand about what Grand G did is he's probably taking it further than anybody is taking it. Earlier than anybody took it. Engineering, producing, rhyming, networking, just being an all-around good guy, abroad and local.
Yeah,
People don't understand what that meant for not just our side of town, what it meant for the people that he.
So, with that being said, It seems to make a more rounded artist,
Yeah.
production wise. Is that something? Is that a new passion, or is it something that was always there that is awakened? But talk about that.
Right.
The actual production.
So everything had like evolved. You know, it started out with, so like I said, the Project X situation. That was about me just making tracks and feeling good. Like my uncle, two of my uncles played instruments, and I started out playing the drums, but I wasn't that fucking good at it. You know, I didn't have that kind of moxie to be like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking tap it. And plus I was the nerd, so I like computers. So when the drum machine came out, it was like, like the sun had, you know what I mean? It was like the best of both worlds. I'm like, oh, I know what I can do. I can go with a computer and I can make it, I can tap a beat. And so that was born. So that's how that kind of beat making started. And then I just wanted to
Now,
kind of,
what year would you say this? What year
oh,
would
now
you
this
say?
started. So yeah, that would have been 80.
Oh man, so that's a long time.
It all starts around the same
It all,
time. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It all starts
Yeah,
around the same
like the
time.
rapping, the engineering, and the beat making in jail time was running concurrent.
Hello.
They were running concurrent. So it all kind of started at the same time, and I wanted to do it all.
But I thought that long terminology that would make me more modern from a small state. I could maybe I can get in water or something. And I just said that I could get in again every time. You gotta get on.
We're talking late 80s, early 90s as a producer and beat maker, because you figure Parrish Smith was a pioneer as far as that's concerned.
Yes.
You know, because he was a
KR did a little bit more
So that was
producing.
that wasn't a normal. Like, it was exceptional guys that did that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
you know what I'm saying?
You in a small group.
It's not a thing at that time. It's not a thing.
But for
Because-
me, I couldn't see that. It just made sense. Like for me, like in my mind at that time frame, it wasn't some like super diabolical scheme I came up with. It just, I think because I was studious and kind of nervous, and the information that was in there allowed me to have a different kind of like logic and thinking process. And I was just like, okay, so even with like I said with the 45 King, I was like, oh, I'm gonna make this situation work. I'm gonna use this as my advantage. But yeah, like as far as like the beat thing and all that, I just started making beats, rhyming. I started rhyming first. That was the first thing in my mom's basement.
I seen that.
I was rhyming in my mom's basement, and then that progressed to meeting Troy, rhyming in Husco. But he had bought all that equipment, and he was like, "This is what the fuck your new job is." And it was a beat machine there. It was all kinds of shit, and all I knew was write and rhyme. So then once I learned how to work and make the beats, I was like, "Oh, I can make my own beat, write and rhyme."
Right.
I got a song. Like I don't need
No
nobody.
one-stop shop.
Yeah, and maybe it was a little arrogant, probably. I was like, I don't need nobody.
I wasn't arrogant. It was groundbreaking, and you didn't really even know it was groundbreaking. It was like it was like you have an engineer, you have a producer, you was all 5, 6 of those people.
Yeah.
So much time
Right.
observing all of it.
Yeah.
At the sponge, you take that in.
That's what I try to be.
So check
That's
this
what I
out.
try to be, man.
So I'm gonna take it somewhere else,
Okay.
right? I'm gonna fast forward a little bit from where we are in
Get comfortable
the
with it.
90s, right? So I want to fast forward to a few years ago, where myself and the good brother Double R in the audience.
Double R&B salons in the fucking building. Please. I had my t-shirt on last week.
Had the opportunity. We had the opportunity to attend
Yeah.
something that was very special to us, right? And I think I speak for him when I say this. It was very special to us, and I'm sure it was very special to you too. You received the Delaware Lifetime Achievement Award presented by Mr. Paul. Right? if I was like, you know, damn near emotional about it, tell me how you felt about that, bro.
Well, yeah, I mean, so one of the things I struggle with, you asked me how that gets so private and everything. Now, I struggle with compliments, you know. There's a lot of stuff I feel like I'm just doing because this is what I do. Like, it shouldn't be applauded, I guess I would say. You know, it's like, it's just like a father who takes care of his kids. It's the way the society is today, but I don't really deserve. I don't really want no applause for that because that's what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's sort of that I struggle with that. So like rapping is part of the music. That's part of my everyday
Well,
life.
fuck that. You accomplished some shit that was major. So with that being said, no, fuck that. No, fuck that. You know what I mean? I get it. Because
You selling yourself,
Hold
sure.
on. I'm a humble dude myself. I get it.
Selling yourself.
This ain't the time for that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
This ain't the time for that.
Okay.
Talk that shit. Nah, man. This ain't the time for that.
Okay, well,
Nah,
go
I
there.
feel it.
You
I mean,
did
this ain't the kid. I did it.
But yeah,
you beat.
like ultimately, you know, I was just trying to and that whole thing. So when I got the award, or when they told me about it, I thought it was more of
I thought it was bullshit. But I respect it. But I really respect him. The person that told me that. So, and I was really confused. So even to the day I actually was going to go there, I thought something of that. And it was just, I don't want to drive. No, talk, man. Like, I'm just keeping it. I'm in a different headspace right now. I was like, yo, I'm not driving. Like, you know.
it's like nah, but they were trying not to tell me what was going on, but they recognized that I probably wasn't going to come if they didn't say something a little bit more substantial than yo, come to the Wilmington.
It gotta be something more than that. Somebody gotta be hurt down
I
there.
don't live around. I ain't on the east side no more.
Is somebody hurt down there? I know. I ain't talking to you.
I gotta plan this. I gotta plan this out.
Hey,
Well, if you got more than 2 motherfucking toes, you can just a planned trip. We gotta plan this shit out. But anyway, ultimately, yeah, I came and when I seen it was more so when I seen the setting and then the folks that were there, I was a little taken back because I you know, that's not what I expected. I expected something, but not that. It took me by surprise, and I was overwhelmed with that. And I'm just
Well, they
really,
accomplished the goal then.
Yeah,
They accomplished the goal then.
I definitely was overwhelmed with it, like from emotion. And you can see I was talking crazy. And matter of fact, one of my friends that knew me for a long time, she said, "You up there acting all nervous, like you know, because she know I ain't no nervous dude." But in those situations, no, in those situations, it's like I'm just like, I just doing what I love to do, and if it has affected somebody, man, that's dope. That's dope. But I don't need no accolades for it.
you're not in it for. You're not in it.
I'm gonna
for
do
that.
it whether. Yeah, I'm right. I'm gonna do it
I'm here for
regardless.
the love of the game.
I love.
Right.
Yeah, I just love it. You know, I love it. Like if you went right now to the basketball player, you see Michael Jordan, and you start talking crazy to him, he gonna try to give you the business. You know what I mean? So you know, that's just kind of what my situation has. That's how my career has evolved to, like what I'm doing currently. I've been doing music in the background and changing as hip hop changes.
Before you move on, I just want to give you a big up on the Delaware Lifetime Team Award.
Hell yeah, man.
First and foremost, I've only ever seen Lifetime Team Award on award shows. You know what I'm saying? On the BET Award show, or whatever the fuck. I never even, I've never been present for a Lifetime Team Award.
That's crazy. That sounds
I wish I was in the
like,
building.
goddamn.
You'll hear. You like, oh, I heard
You know what I'm
the
saying? So I want to give it up. I want to give it up for that.
I do want to address something, man. There was a question from the crowd
Okay.
in regards to your progression in terms of production.
Okay.
Is there a plan to release anything in terms of helping any beats for like the newer generation, or is that something that you just don't fuck with?
Before he say anything, I'll pay to be on his album. Proceed.
Do you have anything in
In the kitty?
in the quiver for the young niggas? If a young man got some, if he's spitting, are you just not fucking with the new generation, or is it
No,
you just not
actually,
feel it, or just tell me?
yeah, I mean, like, it's difficult for me to express. Like, I am hip hop. Like, I'm sure there's tons of people that say the same thing, and I'm cool with that. I don't know their journey, and they don't really know mine. But I fell in love with hip hop.
But let me say this. Let me say this.
A long
Hold
time
on. Let
ago,
me say
right?
this. Let me say this. And when you say I am hip hop, this is what that means to me. This is what that means to me. Because if you're hip hop, you can't be the old dude on the lawn. Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
Now I get it. You may not agree with what's going on right now, but hip hop is hip hop in terms of
It's evolutionary.
It's changing.
right. It changes,
But it's only
because
some
you have to understand that
Yeah.
you're not. Hip hop is a young man's sport.
Yes,
You're
it
not in control.
All the sports.
You know what I mean?
all of us were young man.
That's right. Hip-hop,
Except for baseball.
it's a shelf life. It's a shelf life. There's a shelf life as far as hip hop is concerned. So when you say I am hip hop, you can't say, "Oh man, I don't fuck with these young niggas." That makes no sense because if you're a hip hop, you to me, and I give this example. I always give this example. Me and my brother dropped this young cousin off at a bar. And this was around the Meat Mill craze. We were older, Meat Mill was coming in, me and him sat at the bar. We didn't quite get it. But got there and played that fucking song. The song! No! The fucking Dreams and Nightmares! And they played it. I said, God, 6 times in a row. Bite to bite to bite. Listen! And me and him looked at each other, we said, I get it. It's an energy. Regardless of whether you like the flow, whether you like the beat, it's an energy. It's a synergy or energy that, you know what I mean? And I don't know whether you, but I just remember me and him sitting at that bar that night, and we said, I fucking get it. These motherfuckers, it felt, this is what it felt like. And to me, it gave me that feeling of DMX from late 90s when he cracked the scene. It felt like that. And I said, and mind you, from that point forward, it was easier for me to kind of adapt. How is that for you now?
I mean, at first, there was a time period. Yeah, I ain't gonna front. I was definitely hating. Not necessarily hating, disappointed.
You felt like hip hop was dead?
Yeah, I felt like I definitely put the casket, the nail in the coffin. The
It
last
feels like
nail
there's
in
a
the coffin.
common button there.
Yeah, it is, because one of the things I've learned through some life ordeals is like you should always try to be expanding your horizon, broadening your, just broaden your stuff. So I wanted to broaden my creativity of like music I listen to, the music I listen to, which then in turn made me change how I listen to hip hop beats, hip hop, and I'm talking about in the younger generations, hip hop beats, their lyrics, and see the beauty in what they doing. Once again, I'm always down for a cat who's getting bread. I've never, me and my 2-man squad ain't never been haters of jokers.
Yeah, you
bread.
and you gotta
Power,
accept,
yeah.
and you gotta accept that you don't determine. You don't determine. You gotta accept that you don't determine what's hot. You know what I mean? You don't determine what's
I'm
hot.
stepping off and fuck back. Let me right back.
You don't
That's
determine
what
what's hot.
That's what I'm like.
New generation. No matter what I thought was hot,
Yeah,
It don't get no
if them young cats think it's hot, it's hot.
yeah. You don't.
It's hot.
You don't
You know what I'm
determine.
saying?
Here.
Yeah, you said it.
You know what I mean?
You said it earlier. It is an energy.
It's
You know
energy, man.
what know, they're not really. If you had to have lyrics, it could go both ways because it's very dummy down and very monotonous, repetitive. But they got, but the energy and the essence of the flow. I got to give it to them.
No, we do
It might not be the same. I would think.
I'm
But
a
it's hard. They're harsh.
Look, it's
Like,
Can I still be around? I still be around some of these. Fresh.
Yes, sir. My fault.
I still be around some of these young dudes. And you right, it be the energy.
right.
It be the drill music and all that.
I mean,
But these young niggas still look for lyrics.
well,
Because if a nigga like a little baby, they not looking for him for the energy. They looking for what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? They want
So they want
That's what I
best
said.
of both worlds.
they
They want it all.
well,
like us. We
Yeah.
we had artists that we dance to, but we had artists that we listen to.
I think the bigger picture.
You know what I'm saying?
I think the bigger picture is because of technology and it being able to access every corner of this planet. You know, you can have a fan base and still be successful because there's a lane for you, like for your type of genre. Like if you want to be the energy motherfucker, there is.
Like
You know,
baby.
this isn't like where I had to back in the day. We had to walk around and sell cassette tapes, harass motherfuckers, almost get fucked. Like now, it's the internet, and
Yeah,
that's,
I turn my phone on, I got it.
you can look, you can turn your phone on. Everybody listening can look at a rapper in Uruguay right now. They can find out. They can play what's playing.
No.
Oh.
The street team,
Or to the right.
No, the other way,
The
other
street
way.
team that Instagram get
Oh.
posters.
So I
And so, you know, ultimately, because of that technology aspect, you know, I think there's a lane for everybody. There's a lane for myself. There's a lane for older rappers, younger rappers. I mean, you still, if you Google, you know, some of the cats we grew up with, the Kings, they still doing shows constantly. Because now there's a whole generation. The same way we might be at odds with the newer generation music. There's some people that feel strongly convicted about like motherfucker Oxnard in the 80s nigga, and that's where the fuck I'm at.
I'm gonna say this.
And if any new motherfucker sound like the 80s, that's what I'm messing with.
I'll say
And the
this.
90s and so forth. So and then every genre that came from them.
I have, and it's our responsibility. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't control them. I have two sons upstairs that I make sure that they understand what came before them and give them at least an appreciation in terms of not turning your ear down to that, because what you're listening to is not the only thing. Now, I don't tell you whether you should like it or not. You have your own opinion. You know what I mean? But just like I don't say to myself, everything that comes out right now is trash. I can't say that. You know what I mean? Now, it's one of those things where some shit just for me. It's just it's so hip hop is a young man to me. It's a young man to understand that, but it's still street sound. But not to say that it can't transcend into an older generation or it doesn't have an older. But the essence of it is still a street sound. Sometimes that street sound, you may be far removed from that. You may be kind of far removed from that, and I understand that. I get it. And that's from me traveling the country with a bunch of kids in the van, 5-6 hours, riding to a tournament, coach listen to this. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, all right, I love some of that shit. Goddamn, I don't like all of it. I do love some of it, but I don't like all of it. But it's you know, what's your thoughts on it?
I think the root cause, I'm always trying to get to the root cause. I think the biggest root cause of that, what you're trying to allude to, is this era that we live in now, with technical music, is it's harder to find and distinguish something unique. Something might be hot, but it's so hard because you can listen to 15 songs and get the same tempo, they got the same cadence.
It's
They got the same.
the same
They got the
motherfucker.
same
Is that your problem?
ad-lib.
Is that your problem with it?
It's
Yeah, is that your problem with?
But hear me clearly. Same ad lib, all that shit. So, but there's still cats that still have the things that I believe make the cat unique and the intangibles. You got the cadence, the voice, all that shit matters. You know what I mean? Just because you get up there and talk and somebody said you get on the mic, don't mean you got the good voice. There's some cats I couldn't listen to a 3 song, let alone the same album, because of the pitch of the voice.
Right. We had trash artists back when we grew up.
Right, and it's the same thing. The
We
only
had trash niggas when we grew up.
But it may not all be about the
I
lyrics.
think the biggest difference between the past is when you went to go get some kind of music in the past, you would see a wall full of records. And the wall full of records, you would purchase several records because you knew you had certain moods you could be. Sometimes you want to hear some fucking gangster shit. You want to get rowdy. Sometimes you want to hear some happy shit. I'm at the grandma's barbecue. I want to party. You don't want to hear no motherfucker.
Hear some conscious.
You know, you might want to hear some conscious rap. Blah blah blah. But when you did that, if you bought LL Cool J's album, but you wanted to hear some conscious shit, you were shit out of luck. It wasn't happening because that's not what his thing was. If you wanted to listen to something conscious, you got to slide up over the other thing and get one of the conscious rappers. And if you wanted to hear some LL Cool J shit on that conscious rappers album, you shit out of luck. That was the biggest difference. Is if you wanted to, you had to pick up certain albums to get that vibe that you wanted, and that's what made it so unique. You just couldn't get in hip hop back then. You had to be different. It had to be something. And then with that being said, you could close your eyes and using today's technology, if it was a scroll, you could just hit the scroll button and press a song. And I guarantee you do that 7 times, they're gonna start sounding the same.
I used to. I agree, but
I'm not saying there's not unique ones.
right.
I'm just saying
It's less.
Our day there were more unique, less copycats.
Now I can bring him in, and he might
I feel like you. It's some unique people out here, but it's not back then to get you fucked up.
No, I can bring.
Back in the days, you can set you for bonding.
I could bring
You niggas that be
I
finding
could bring
that
a
society.
17-year-old in here, and he would probably say, "Nah, this dude sound totally different." You know what I mean? It's just.
And I know it's the ear.
Yeah, it's just.
I know it's the ear, and I'm not. Listen, I'm one to do them type things like that. I give him credit for credit. I'm a sports fanatic, and everybody that knows me knows that. I'm a Dallas fan. I'm sorry.
Fuck would you bring that up?
I know.
Why would you bring it? Why would you bring a bad time to some?
I know.
You was doing what? Hey man, cut the beat off.
In the
Cut the
middle,
beat off right now. I mean,
In the
you was doing
To a picnic.
in the building.
What happened? My idol brought ass to a picnic.
You was doing that.
I want to recant.
Nah.
Nah.
Hey, I said the fuck you need to say.
I'm
man.
going
You said
to recant that statement. But I guess, like I said, you know, it was just easier when you was back then to pick out and get something different. Now, if you really searching for something different, I think it's just difficult. I agree that there's some songs, I listen to them. Some of them do sound different, but it's not that significant. Like I keep, that's what I can describe it to you. It's like, man, when you listen to a PE album, you clearly wasn't going to hear anything like that on the Kid's album or Ken's album. Because you just had that was the beauty for getting to the album because you were getting from the way they made you feel. Now you got no disrespect. There's some banging shit out there. I fuck with. Like, you know, I fuck with a couple of
Man, before I get to my rapid fire.
All right.
Before I get to the rapid fire round to end it off, man. Go.
What I was saying, what he just said is what I've been saying for years. There is diversity that can be had in hip hop. You can have your style, and everybody go diamond or platinum or gold, whatever they do.
it seems like nowadays everybody's like, okay, well, let's kind of more jump on this one lane because we know this one lane is successful. And that's what I think is what's killing hip hop is because people jumping more on what's successful as opposed to, let me stick out. I know my shit is dope. Let me bet on myself a little bit. I know my shit is dope. Let me stick out just a little bit. I ain't got to be, beating on pots and pans.
Right.
But let me do something a tad bit different than the norm. And I will have a little bit more, a further progression in hip hop. If almost every MC did that, instead of saying, okay, what's the divide? Let me jump on the divide. Okay, well, that's not progressing it as far as people innovating.
Yeah, I mean, when you in it, and I'll just say that up and down for that. Like, if you compare it to a situation where in hip hop today, you had Nicki Minaj,
Yes.
and then it was Cardi, and they already filtering into Megan Thee Stallion. So that process is a process that's in the music game, man. You go that lane. You travel down that lane.
They will find.
It's not even about finding them, because you got to understand that audience that's in that lane, that audience is fickle, and they always will be. So they just jump on the next hot shit. So like I said,
That's a short shelf life.
they're short shelf like audience, right? Nicki Minaj couldn't be, she couldn't do no wrong. Now she's trying to branch out and sing with people that ain't even speaking English.
Right? It was like,
Now, I'm not saying she's
wrong.
whack, but
Until she couldn't do no wrong. That's what she can't do right.
Then Cardi was hot. And now the fickle team, okay, we tired of Cardi.
It's a 2-year
So
shelf
we're
life.
gonna mess with Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion Adventure. I guarantee you, I'll tell you. If you wait long enough, Cardi B gonna have the same kind of situation with Megan Thee Stallion that she had with Nicki Minaj. It's just it's a cycle for that. But when you start talking about like the hip hop, you get those like I get great artists, Nas. The reason why Nas still can be still so successful is because he's never truly chased that fickle audience. He just made sure he tried to entertain.
Sometimes to a fault, but to now,
In this,
and now it seems like it's strength because that's a different.
Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah,
So let me ask you a question.
And we're going to bring you back for that.
So let me ask you a question. Speed round.
Oh, shit. Oh,
Nobody remember.
Nigga, listen. No, this is simple. This is the Fire and Ice speed round.
Yeah. Let's get it.
Nigga, you got 5 seconds. I don't want no thought with it. Nigga, just come off the top of the dome.
I got
Greatest album of all time.
Hold on, we start the show with that.
No.
Is it just hip hop or is
Hold
it?
No, nigga, we hip hop. We are hip hop. We're talking about hip hop.
You are a legend.
All right, we're gonna start over.
What the hell you
Oh,
say?
bring it.
Yeah,
Bring it back.
action.
All right. This is the Fire and Ice speed round. We got Grand G in the hot seat.
Icon. My idol.
Greatest album of all time. Go.
Put you on the hot seat.
Come on, man. Come on. It's not that hard.
You cool.
It's not that hard.
Go Fire and Ice.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna go with Cash.
Come on, mind it. Okay.
And you know what?
I would rather go era because then I can help out. Because there's so many greatest albums. Okay.
That's too easy.
All right.
That's too easy. That's too easy.
Made it down.
That's too goddamn easy.
Let's see. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Let me ask you something.
As great as I think you were, MC, and probably, I'm pretty sure you think you're a pretty good MC. Who do you think is an overrated MC?
Overrated.
I said it ain't me. But who's that? They make I'm not gonna say overrated. I'm not gonna say because everybody's respect. To you, this is to you.
Who gives a fuck what everybody thinks? And listen, if you say a nigga that really, niggas that heard it all.
Hold on, OG. I want
Jay-Z to roll for Nas.
I
Kanye is everybody.
Let me
Everybody
preface
heard.
this like this. I don't want to say that they're overrated. Let me pull that back. Let me say somebody say, well, maybe I could have got them. Let me say it like that.
Oh, that's
Maybe I could have got them. Now speaking
then
of
or now.
what happened?
Whichever one
30
you feel
years,
comfortable.
35 years ago,
35 minutes.
I could have got them.
I want to say 35 minutes ago.
You know, I would love to. Do a song here.
I got another one for you.
But I'm not saying that's all I got him. But I would love just the amount of energy that he would bring to make, you know, that competitive, healthy competitive.
Right, help.
But I guess I would say honestly, you know, I'm nicer than a lot of cats.
I'm not gonna
Name
lie.
Name one, man. You got to give me one.
No.
Well,
Name one.
Nah, man. You
Just
got,
one.
we on a Fire and Ice podcast.
Just
You
one.
got to give me one.
Name one.
You on a Fire and Ice podcast experience. You got to give me one. What's the nigga you said?
Man, yo, good brother,
Name one.
mentor, you don't have to name one.
Oh, we talking
I just
about
wanted you to say,
Every ASAP.
Okay.
Every ASAP.
Every
I got another one for you.
Okay.
I got another one for you.
Okay.
Every
What's a
ASAP.
beat?
Okay.
Hold on. What's a beat that you just wanted to go fucking crazy?
ooh, I got one right after.
What's a beat you wanted to just fucking and then give me that shit and give me loop that shit for 10 minutes and let me go bombers on. Come on, man.
You know what? It was a beat that came out but years and years ago, and I did loop it. It was dope. And Dr. Dre produced it. I'm trying to think of what the song was called. I think it was for Eminem. Let me think of another. I can't really think of the name of that song.
What's the Dr. Dre?
Dr. Dre beat.
It was a Dr.
Shit.
Dre beat.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
we go
good
with
enough
that.
for
So
me.
we
That's
can't-
good enough.
Can't go wrong with that.
So think this. Who won the Nas and Jay-Z battle?
Ooh,
Who won the Nas Jay-Z battle?
Yep. Okay. Say less.
Yeah, that was Nas.
Say less. Okay.
Rhyme and say, Nas won that
Yeah,
motherfucker.
Nas.
All goddamn day.
Okay.
I mean, just from a standpoint of not only was it really was dope. I mean, knowing Jay-Z, even to this day, I'm sure it's come down after his scandals and shit. But back then, I'm sure he was extremely arrogant to not come back really at all and just leave this motherfucker alone forever. He left him alone forever. He never, you know, at that time frame.
They started getting money together.
He tried to do a couple
He
things.
said, yo, besides you beat me over the head,
Yeah.
let's get some money together.
Plus, like, you know, it's one of the things I try to pride myself like on the way I kind of spit now is, you know, when I listen to an MC, like it's bigger than just when I listen to a song, it's bigger than just listening to the song.
Hello.
I be like listening for the MC, and he might not have done none of that shit, but I be listening for that authentic sound, like to make me feel like.
Because we don't know these niggas.
We don't know these niggas. So
Yeah.
I'd be like, yo,
We
did
don't know
these
these
niggas really do that? Because to me, that's what would make it hot. To me, make it more hot.
Now I knew you that makes you even greater, but at the end of the day,
I can feel a feeling.
Right.
I can feel a feeling.
Shout out good brother O for checking in.
Hello, big bro. O.
First you got one speed round. Go. Speed round.
Yeah, favorite MC. Damn, come on, man. You guys is good. Y'all great.
I got too
Killing me, small.
You're killing me.
Well,
Come on, man.
off top,
Come on, man. You on the island. One MC.
No. Let me preface it like this. If you could have anybody's catalog or video, like Vince Carter slaying Donkey and highlight tape, who would you take? And besides yourself, who would you take?
As far as the music,
Period.
and want to spit over it.
Period.
I'm gonna tell you something I really like. I mean, I really like. You
Tell
probably
us.
think it's kind of crazy.
Please tell us.
I like Scarface.
Hip hop idol in terms of, is it for you the dancing? Is it the art? Is it the DJ or is it the MC?
MC.
After he say something, I want to say something.
Man, that's a lot. I would say the MC.
It's the MC.
Yeah, I love all that, and I love dance. I love art, but
I'm gonna keep it 100, man. For me, it's the artwork, man. I love. For some reason, I love seeing a fucking
what's hard with
graffitied subway.
Yeah.
I love that shit, man.
Let me ask you
But
something.
that's just me.
And I want to ask, and I don't think I've experienced it. I think I want to ask my idol face if he's experienced it. What was the height of MCing, DJing, B-boying, and DJing for you? It probably wasn't in Delaware, or was it? Like we said, this is the top of hip hop that I have felt. That's what I want to know from my idol.
Yeah, it wasn't none of them times. There's really two times, and one on the real personal. I'll share everything, but so it goes back to the time where, I was with Fred G and trying to
Give me a shout out to Fred FG.
Yeah, Fred G and F3.
F3, yes.
And
And
we were-
Camille.
I think we were at the time frame called True Believer. We went through a couple names. But we was on a conscious joint, and one of those lost tapes in the archives. I wish I had it right now. And we was done with some folks up in New York, a management company. And one of the stories that happened is they said, "Hey, yeah, we're gonna invite this guy to dinner, blah blah blah, grand, blah blah blah." Yeah. When he come in, it was funny. I never forget we was having spaghetti, and Premier comes in. And I said,
And I'm from Premier
I was
again.
like,
Shout out to
so
Primo.
me and him was looking at it like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, yo,
What you mean?
how do you keep? And he's like, you know what? He's like, yo, this is my man. I'm like, yo, this is my man. So it was a really cool thing. So needless to say, even though I was in the group, I still was doing my own thing. And at that time frame, they were doing the conscious thing, and I was with them and everything. But my style was changing. My swag was, I always say, it was at my California cool state. It was morphing again.
Right.
And a lot of my songs were now, and the lyrics were more street oriented because that's where my life was. It wasn't all happy and fucking diddly no more.
And
It
the
wasn't
music
like
was
I
kind of trained.
made it on the first shot and that great American dream. Like I had been through some shit at this point. So I was starting to write and do other songs outside of that. Okay. So needless to say, that management group tried to do something with it. You know what I mean?
I got one.
And
Man,
and this is how I wound up going to and meeting Latifah and with her.
Similar moment.
seminal. I have the picture somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
I got one.
But ultimately, I got an opportunity to deal with Atlantic Records at the time. And so they sent me to Boston to do a remix for Chuck Booker at the time. He was one of those. He was like he was singing wise, he was a one-hit wonder, but he was making hits.
I was trying to at that time push him, yeah.
And so the song was called Spinning. Or You Got Me Spinning, I don't know. And at that time frame, I just thought it would be real dope to do an R&B joint with a hip hop beat. Nobody really was doing it. And I did not make an R&B shit.
That was before.
Now that's what you said. This is 80 something.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
before Ron G. Blended tapes.
Yeah.
Proceed.
Yeah,
let's
it was-
move. So let's move. Speed rap. Speed rap.
I'm ready to blow. So the Senator Atlantic Records, the Chuck Booker at that time, and he was blessed that on. And that's where she was planning to go. Right. He wasn't with it, so that's fair. But with that being said, I got you.
Let the record reflect. Let the record reflect. If you probably would have won a Grand Funky joint, you probably be still around, Chuck Booker.
That'd be kind of funny too. But so that spawned onto the Atlantic Records relationship with that. So then they were trying to get me, acclimated with them. So they said, yo, Latifah's having a birthday party. You want to go? And I'm like, I don't know Latifah. But they said, you don't need to. You know us, and you'll know her when we get there. So I said, okay. Like, mind you, I'm just hanging in New York, just doing shit. So
I'm just hanging out in front of shit.
So we went to a birthday party. Came back when that happened. Went to a birthday party. Went real well. Zeke the Freak was there. He was dancing. Like, he was hanging with LL.
Bad Street.
He was hanging with LL Cool J that whole night. It was the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. I thought that maybe he knew LL and just never told us. That's how.
This nigga can't be doing this shit in front of a stranger, man.
Yeah. Like, I mean, this is how, when I said he was hanging with each other the entire night, dancing, acting wild, chicks, I thought, man, this motherfucker this whole time, this guy never said anything. Or this guy extremely resembles somebody LL knows.
Right.
Shout out to cousin or some shit. I know this nigga. This is Pee-wee.
Like, I expected me to be doing some shit like that. This dude's over the top. But anyway, that's what he's doing. I'm doing my thing. And, busted up with Latifah at the spot for a little bit. She said, enjoy yourself, blah, blah, cool. And it was almost like that whole kind of record company with other cats that was on your label. Here's some new guy that's about to.
Right.
That's how I took it. You know what I mean? But I wasn't sure because nothing was really said officially.
Right.
And, to quickly jump away from that story, the only negative thing, and that's why I know if I met her today and told her story, she'd probably be like, oh my God, you was there. Because something unique happened. First of all, the party was in a club, but the club was a bank. So the club was in the safe.
Armory?
Yeah, like the safe door was open, and that's the club.
That's the club.
And so I thought that was real dope at the time. You got to think about this. The shit I'm saying right now to maybe some of the listeners probably like, oh, that's nothing. But you got to think this is
30,
yeah, like 80.
almost 40.
Yeah.
Almost 40 years ago. Shit, y'all think is fly now? They did that shit 35, almost 40 years ago.
It was just different stuff. So what happened was, it was the Jungle Brothers.
Turn the rapper around into another story. I love
love
it.
it.
I
It was,
love it.
I love that. Pete,
It was
I
the
ain't
Jungle
trying to
Brothers.
It
It was the Jungle Brothers, YZ, for Righteous Teeth. And
Who said the picture?
I don't really know what the situation was, but the cats got the rumbling and blood everywhere, and it was just her party. She was crying. The whole shit was fucked. And I ran out to do this rapper at the time I was also hanging with named Steezo. And
Oh shit! Burger scratch! I cut you off! I don't even cut you off! Nigga, that song! Hold on!
Yeah, I know yo. I think
Nigga, that song is we're gonna let you continue with your story, but after read all about it, it's these Diesel down, nigga. Hold on! We all are very familiar. Please! Oh, please!
Just call me Steezo the Fly Negro.
At the time frame,
I'll start beatboxing this motherfucker.
I thought
It's my turn.
He wasn't big time. So the average person, I didn't think would know.
No, that shit touched us because
Yeah.
Steezo was
He had
shit.
the chrome tee.
Yes, he did.
The blonde box, little light skin.
But he wasn't EPMD. He wasn't E or PMD.
Nah, that shit was tough.
He was a
Steezo
dancer.
So I was cool.
I was able to Steezo follow him.
So
I can see how y'all
when I wasn't
connect.
hanging with Primo, I was hanging with Steezo at these seminars. So then after the seminar was over, then there was tons of like activities, like competitions. That's what I did. That's how I met all of that. Instead of hanging them on the set of the Q-tip, maybe that's how I met. And I met for this Q-tip that he said, man, I heard some of this stuff. And I heard people say, and that was kind of like the demise of. I heard him, but I just couldn't imagine being up there.
I like that's my
no
idol.
job, no nothing. So that's how
That's
that.
not too much of a
So,
risk.
Yeah.
so let me ask this real quick. We got a question from the audience. Shout out Lamar Kelly. He wants to know after this question. We're gonna do a couple things to pull this out.
Okay.
Lamar Kelly want to know who would you like to see in the versus battle?
Ooh. catalog wise and competition wise, I'm trying to. I like to see Scarface in the battle.
I'm gonna tell you
Yeah,
who I always say.
But I'm trying to figure. But I'm trying to figure out.
I'm gonna tell you who I always want to see Scarface in the battle with.
Hey, let me hear your guy.
Ice Cube.
Okay, that could work. Catalog wise.
I always say Scarface.
Catalog wise, it
You
could
like to
work.
see Scarface?
That's what I said because you talking same era.
Yeah.
Catalog is similar.
But,
The time frame and the skill level.
But the problem is Scarface never switched up. Like, he even said it in one of his albums. I've been saying the same shit for 25 years.
But
still
even though Cube,
You know what I mean? Like-
even though Cube switched up, he got enough material.
he got enough.
Because
order.
remember, we are talking about the author of the original NWA movement, and then the author of
You know,
his own.
I'm trying to think of some. I'm trying to think about the lyrics, like the current lyrics.
Well, I wouldn't want to see him against the current nurses.
No, I'm trying to think of two current lyrics.
That particular time.
At that time? Oh, yeah.
I can't.
Anybody, any two people you want to see the versus battle?
Yeah, I would go with I know it's gonna sound crazy, man. You might think it's crazy, but I think he could handle it. I might see Eminem and Karis One.
Oh,
And the reason why I say that
I
is
wasn't in the room.
I know it's
Can you
different.
read the room?
I know it's different eras.
Question was from Lamar Kelly, who would phone you want to see in a versus
But
battle?
I would love to see the verses morph into different eras.
So you don't want to see the same.
I would say
Okay.
it's cool with the same. It's cool with the same, but as just a little spin because it's starting to get a little old now. Getting a little crazy. But I thought spin on it, maybe have different eras. And I ain't talking about jumping 2-3 eras, but
Not Love Bug Star Ski.
yeah.
That is not gonna work.
Yeah. Like Roxanne Shante against motherfuckers making this diet.
That's not.
That might not work out so
I got
well.
one for you.
That might not work out so well.
I got a couple for you.
Then again, I don't know if she might be still right.
Great. What's your greatest rhyme?
Oh,
You say,
I'm taking
This
my
is-
hat off.
This is
Not half a figure.
this right here was the one that I said.
I think it's iron.
Look, this look at my face. This one made you say,
Ooh. Dang, I never expected that question. Rhyme that I get goosebumps at.
I mean, I can tell you what it is for me. And I don't know if you can say or
But
you
see,
can
I've
say.
heard more than that than you.
No.
No. So we've all heard a lot of music. So
Yeah.
for me, it was.
But I'm talking about I heard more of my music than you.
Well, no. And it's not just your music, but
Okay.
just any rock. For me, it was verbal intercourse. That was for me. It was like,
Okay,
oh,
well,
shit.
that's
shit, my guy.
Okay, got
No, my guy,
Okay.
he left Earth on.
Okay.
What artist just left Earth and you said, oh shit.
Oh, yeah.
being the caliber artist you are.
What did you hear that you just said? That's fucking him.
I mean, I obviously, my situation happened when I first heard Karis One. But I'm not going to get off of that. But I'm going to tell you what MC, after I was like really an MC and knew what I was doing, the cat that blew my mind, or the cat that blew my mind, I would probably say was Andre 3000.
What song? What song?
I think the song, I want to say the song was called Deep. And he was like, he said, deeper than deeper than shadow. You know what I'm saying? He said, that was that that was God. Hungry too. My sugar level getting low.
You need pizza? You need some chips?
All right, so dig this. This we got 5 minutes left. So I wanna do a 180. Right?
Okay.
And I want to go back to something you said earlier.
Mhm.
Earlier you said you had to make a decision between rap and you had a daughter that was born, right? So obviously you chose your daughter and came along with that,
Right.
Right? Because the rap dream wasn't buying pampers and shit, right?
Right?
Hey.
So, and I already know the answer to this question, but tell the people your focus and your dedication to your daughter. How did that turn out?
Go blood.
Speak on it.
Please.
Well,
Where is she now?
Hello.
wow, man, that's deep. I wasn't expecting that. Oh, let me not get too emotional. So my daughter, my daughter is like way bigger than just my daughter. At the time frame, I was really lost. I kind of dibbled and dabbled on my childhood. I was really lost. I didn't have a lot of respect for women. The first woman is my mom, and it didn't go too well. And my first girlfriend, she shitted on me to the top. I was like, okay.
She fucked my auto.
But my daughter she reestablished my love for the female species without any kind of sexual type stuff, nothing, just unconditional true love. And that'd be weird. But the point is,
I get that.
yeah, you get the point. Is that without any of that, it was just, and then it was my first child. I think God knew exactly what I wanted. I didn't want any kids. If I had a boy, I'd probably been too busy trying to make him like me at the time frame, and that probably went very well. You got to raise a girl, for those that have girls, you got to raise them different. And I didn't even hold my daughter for the first 3 days because I was so afraid I was going to do something stupid to mess it up. And the first day I held her, it was one of the moments again that had me like, I fell in love with my daughter that day when I held her that day. And so it was easy for me to do that. So the beauty of it now is it was the best decision, it was the greatest investment of my life. She really didn't give me and her mom too much of any problems. We had some strict kind of rules. I was like, yo, you got to get the hell out of Delaware. You got to go.
Smart.
I told her you
Smart.
got to go to college at least 150 miles away, so you can't be coming back to Delaware all the time. Blah blah blah. And so she chose a very small private school that nobody really knows of, but that's all really about academics. And she went to the college, did all 4 years. She got an academic fellowship the whole time. And when she graduated, she had a double major and a minor. She had a double major.
Give it a black queen.
Hold on.
Okay, I'm
sorry. We gotta hear the rest of it.
I'm sorry.
She had a
Please.
She had a major in criminal justice, and a major in psychology, and a minor in sociology.
That sounds very major.
She
Proceed.
graduated, I want to say, with 5 academic awards.
Oh, smokes.
Um,
Oh,
She didn't have a 4.0, but it was high enough. I forgot.
4.0 with a 3.999999999 is the same fucking thing.
Yeah. She was something like that nature, and she always wanted to. She said she wanted to be a lawyer, and then she was so criminal-minded that she said she wanted to be intelligent. But she said the technical term is intelligence analyst.
In other words, CIA.
Yeah, and I said,
Right.
so I said, you want an ear hustle. You want an ear hustle.
Right.
But to say, I talked to her when she got out of college. She asked me, Dad, what should I do? She's like, I'm trying to do this. And I said, look, when somebody's trying to do new stuff, they're talking about stuff, they don't be in Idaho. So if you want to be another small letter acronym, you go down to VB. So, she went down there, and she put down, and she took it to the management. So her first job, she was working for the United States Supreme Court justice. She guarded the Supreme Court and the justices. If the justices decided to go somewhere, like one time they went on a vacation and they went somewhere where they go where nobody else is, and she had to go, but they said they wanted to do vacation shit without them around, so go where y'all going and wait for us to call you. But she went to a Stevie Wonder concert with one of the justices. They wanted to see Stevie when she got back.
NDIRE probably.
Dave Chappelle was there. So she had done some really cool stuff working at that job, and got really cool. So her references are like the 9 judges. That's the thing.
So it's weird because
but I'm not down.
she's got no. But hold on. It's weird because Dad's got experience with seminal individuals, and she's got. So you can share. Proceed. Go ahead. It's just a weird parallel.
Yeah, she jokes about it all the time, but then she went through a whole year and something of applying for this one job. With, I know I really can't talk to her, so I'll say this. She works for one of the small acronyms, and she went to training for like 6-7 months. She's had jujitsu, hand-to-hand combat training.
Oh, so she's scared. You somebody who needed.
Yeah, she can use.
Yeah, you important.
So she's a goddamn Avenger.
She's
Well,
a maid.
I- yeah,
She's a maid. She is a maid.
Goddamn Avenger.
Well,
I'm gonna stop right there.
Yeah,
She's maid.
I always say she's like the female. She might be the female Jason Bourne.
She's like an Avenger.
You're a
goddamn
motherfucker.
it.
So
You
safe to say,
If you should accept this
safe
mission,
to say,
Yeah, you said this.
and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't want to put words in your mouth,
Mhm.
but I think it's safe to say that choosing your daughter over your career is something you do not regret.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I tell my daughter this all the time, and I think one day she'll get it. I think as she gets older, she does. I told her ever since she could understand it, I said, you have been more influential in my life than I have been in yours.
That's needed. That's
And,
needed.
So,
That's powerful, man.
so like that's real talk, man. Like, and even to this day, she's I look at her as inspiration. She's helped me to get domesticated. Because I didn't own stuff.
so that's the reason why it's hard to get you
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Hey,
So let me put a bow
you
on it.
understand?
Let me put a bow on it like this. So, what can we expect from you? Is there some music in the future? Is what is there anything we need to look forward to? Should we be checking downloads? What are we doing?
Well, I would say this.
And it's still your passion.
Yeah. Oh man, it's
Hello.
it's what I do.
Hello.
Yeah,
Passion.
it's a therapeutic passion.
Okay.
But yeah, so I had a real crazy situation happen to me. I don't want to get long with it. I don't want to turn this into. I'm certainly not looking.
Man,
for
do what the
job.
fuck you want to do, man. It's our shit.
But in 2017, I was diagnosed with an uncurable cancer, and so like when something like that happens, it changes your life and your perspective on everything. And you realize how mortal you are, and things are short. You ain't got time to be dicking around, not doing the things that you want to do. But I guess the important thing is sitting in the hospital getting chemo and all that kind of stuff. I made some.
Please proceed.
I made I wasn't on my deathbed, but I made some kind of, that kind of list. I made that kind of list. That's what I'm saying. At that time, I felt like
It's like you know what I'm saying? Because in talking to you and you hear them off the voice and you just
Yeah, I was defeated. I was
listen,
defeated.
bro.
I was
Go ahead. I didn't cut you off.
I like to
Go
use
ahead.
the word deflated.
Nah,
I was
man,
deflated. I was very deflated.
He might have been, but I want to put my arms around my motherfucking mentor. Where since you want to say, nah, I'm carrying you, hold you, fuck that. Said the fuck,
I ain't gonna be able to talk, man.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But yeah, ultimately, like I made some promises to myself, and they all included situations where, like, I'm going to do things. I'm going to go ahead and chase dreams. I don't care what people say, about this or that. I've never been really that kind of dude anyway. So, like, I'm just going to live my life, and you don't need to be a millionaire to live your life and be happy. And so I started, focusing on things that was important to me. The most important thing is relationships. And I started trying to nurture those that were great more, and try to salvage or repair some that I felt like was the right thing to do. Now, if nothing came of it, then at least I had peace.
Right.
But it was just having peace of mind, man. And one of the things I promised myself was I was going to do this leadership, because I was like, a lot of people talked about me writing a book or something. Because I've been through a lot of stuff that cats can even imagine.
Exactly.
And they was always telling me write a book, and I don't want to disrespect that skill. you know, everybody's like, well, you can rap, so you
It's
can
a
write a book.
craft.
It's
It's
not.
a craft like building
Yeah.
a
You know
car.
what I'm saying? Like, it's like different. Like, I won't diminish that what it takes to be a writer. And so I said, man, I can't write no book. And so a couple people were like, well, why don't you tell me your story and I'll write it. And I was like, man, it's gonna be like kind of lame though. Like, you know, I just couldn't do it. So one day I just got the notion. I was like, yo, I can rap though.
Hey.
So I decided that what I was gonna do was I was going to tell my life story, but in rap songs, and just kind of give you like a different view of it, not just not my life like this shit, but the things I've
This is what you
seen.
see.
Yeah, things I've seen. Like I've seen some crazy
The
stuff.
eyes are on the,
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
windows. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah, yeah. So ultimately, the idea was to make these individual stories and put them all together on an album to tell a bigger story. If that makes sense to you.
Absolutely.
That
And that's kind of where I'm at with it.
I'm not going to
And
lie.
I just want to say one thing before.
No,
For
go
those
ahead.
listening, like I'm not saying this in an arrogant way. Like I really take this shit serious. So you know, I'm not coming out with hip, not like it ain't gonna be that. You know,
Something different.
it's gonna be difficult for you to tell that it is. You know, so.
Yeah. So
Because I'm
is
thinking
that
like,
something we should be expecting? Is that something that's already in the works?
Oh yeah. So I said, yeah, I'm
OG,
already.
let them know.
Let me know. Fuck it. I got
Yeah, I got you. So I'm already in the works with it. I do have different like platforms, but I'm rebooting those to be more professional. Like I like to do things and build my own website. But right now, I currently new stuff that I'm working. My new album. I currently have 8 songs. I got about 7 more potentials.
I ain't gonna lie.
I got a whole nother album to release as well.
I
But it's gonna be
would
real
love-
dope. The concept is the new album's gonna be called Moments, and it really kind of leaves it very open.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna cut
Like-
my OG off. I would love to appear on one of his projects if I'm beatboxing, whatever. Say, hey,
We can talk. But like some of the songs I was on it, like one song is called Reflection, and that song is deep. It's just like it's a real concept about looking at yourself in the mirror and then it's like that, and just like just kind of turning off what it is you've been thinking about. Then there's another song called
With that being said, no. With that being said,
OG,
So here's
I
the
love
thing.
I want to wrap you up in bubble wrap. I want to wrap you in bubble wrap. We need 24 more years, man. Fuck, you my OG.
So we already know.
with that
You,
being said,
you already know. We already know. People about to know. You have an open invitation, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It ain't a lot of people that can come here to the lair. This is the lair.
You got open. You got open.
This ain't the shout out to East Square. Shout out to
shout out to East Square,
This ain't
Scar Lounge,
this is
3616.
Bar Lounge where everybody's welcome.
Everybody can't come
This
here.
spot right here, everybody can't come here. So the fact that you're here, you already know you family. But I ain't have to tell you that.
I want to fucking
I
hug
ain't have to
you.
tell you that. You already know
Nah.
that.
You,
So
I'm sorry.
You got an
You,
open
you,
invitation. Anytime when you are ready to drop your shit, come back, tell the motherfucking people about it.
Okay, no
You
doubt.
know what I'm saying? So
No
so
doubt.
you know, from a guy right
ho,
here.
ho, ho, ho. I want to give you big more nuts than he did. You know, he gave you big nuts. I'm like, you my mentor. I don't know if that's bigger. I'm
I
like,
got
you was my fucking mentor and said, oh, now you LeBron. Oh, shit. People said, damn, fresh LeBron. I was like, I was beatbox, I dance, all this kind of shit. But when you said I could run,
It was official.
right?
That's not fresh.
What took it the longest was, oh, that nigga can run. He's funny, all this shit. He can really run.
Right.
You,
Well, I want to say this. Listen, first of all, I appreciate y'all having me here.
No, man.
Real talk.
this is my motherfucking mentor. I don't give a fuck.
appreciate that. I
We
appreciate
traded.
for those that did listen to this whole thing, because I know it was a lot. I appreciate for the short time or the long time that you never spent through. But yeah, I'm definitely ready to do something real dope with this music thing. And I just want to make the city proud. Like that's all.
Thank y'all.
I just want to make the city
That's
proud
real.
and be like, yo,
That's real.
Thank y'all. Fellas, thank y'all.
Listen, bro. Like I said,
That's all.
you got an open invitation, man. Anytime you want
I
to pull up,
love you, bro. I'm
Pull up.
hugging you. You know?
whether it's here, whether it's my crib, whether it's the
Listen.
spot,
We definitely might have to revisit.
Whatever.
No. That story.
We got no, but we gotta do this a whole
So we
week.
got a lot of in-depth
That's part
stories.
two.
Definitely.
this man got
I
stories
want to
today.
do what I could do
Today.
tonight.
Part
But we need to
two,
do justice
part
to that.
three,
You hear me?
part four,
We need to do
part
all
five. But dig it though. Fire nights, man. We got your boy over here.
Hello,
Well, Pete, man.
We got my man.
Fresh Fire. How are you?
We got the
That's your
bull.
man, Iceman, yo.
It's your boy. I'm sorry, go ahead, bro.
You said Ice Man.
It's your boy.
But who's the biggest guest of the night?
It's your boy D man.
Start the show.
We want
But the star of the show,
Start the show.
my motherfucking idol.
Funky.
My motherfucking idol. My motherfucking idol.
We love you, bro.
Thank y'all, man. Love y'all, man. Nah. Fuck that.
Anyway, we out here, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
E-way all
Thank
day.
you, man. Thank you, man. E-way all day.
It's real.
BBD 631, all of that.
Yeah, I want to say 631 BBD.
Yeah, man.
And then
Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all. Oh, you said the beat, be that.
Be that.
Don't worry about it. We good.
Well, then,
You just hit the joint, we good. I hit the joint, we here, we good. Thank you, man.
We love y'all.
Ho.
We love
Don't get it
y'all.
fucked up.
We love y'all.
It don't
We
get
love
no
y'all.
more complicated than this.
We
Oh,
love
no, that was dope.
No. Ho.
Be back.
Hold on.
Be mad. This motherfucker like 3 4 months.
No.
Man, listen.
3,
You know,